How's that? Alrighty, how's that? Am I back? Chuck, do you hear me? Okay, let me bring in Chuck. Chuck, did my audio was out all that time.
Yeah, we were all yelling at you. Art, no audio,
Ah,
no audio. I tried sending it to you in the private chat, and I
ah,
was like, Art,
okay.
there's no audio.
Dang
I'm
it.
gonna knock on the screen. There's no audio, man.
All right.
Oh,
Ladies and
technology's breaking the
gentlemen, I
rules.
just had a Ken Heron moment, and we're back. We're live. I want to thank, who was that? That's Charles Meyer. Thank you for that super chat, $5 Canadian, which is,
Two
what,
dollars.
75 cents? I don't know.
That's not nice. That was very generous.
No, no, I mean, just kidding.
It's
Just kidding.
bad
Mel,
American
thank you
humor.
for calling me. Uh, what an idiot. Okay. Okay, now I can't blame it on StreamYards or what is that?
OBS.
No, what's that that software that Ken uses?
Oh, I don't know what he's using, but man, it sure
Oh,
got
he
under his
does
skin the other night. Holy
Wire
smokes.
Crash. Wire Crash. Okay.
Wire crash. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Wire crash. Poor guy.
Wire
He almost
Crash.
he had
Yeah,
a that was a
that's what he uses.
meltdown. Boy, did he melt down.
Oh God.
I
All right. Well,
Yeah. Anyway, he'll be all right. He just needs to sleep it off. He'll
yeah,
be fine.
yeah. Well, anyway, long story. Luckily, he got that. Oh yeah. Th- thanks, Metro Drones. Hey, I sent you one of these on the other link. I want a refund. Thanks, Bill. Oh boy.
Well, stuff happens.
All
Technology's
right,
great when it
screw
works.
this day in history. We'll just go on and
On with the show,
get
Art,
going with
man.
the show.
All right.
Chuck, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Art. Thanks for having me. How was
Well,
Florida? Tell us all about
it
Florida. Well,
was
maybe you're not gonna get to it.
fantastic. I wish the weather would have been better. It was just it was just windy. It was
I
off
heard.
and on. One day it's like 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Next day is it's much better. Uh, Friday was a good day. That's the one where I made that video, and that turned out pretty good. You got Night Train flying his drone around my Mavic Air 2. That
Nice,
was pretty cool.
nice.
And I got to meet a lot of folks there that I've never met in person, like Mitch, old guy in the drone. He's here in the chat. Thank you, Mitch. Great to see you. Carlos, Ed, love my drones. And then, uh, above and beyond drones. God, now I'm having a Prevagen moment here.
Senior
Uh,
moment. That's the second thing that
Jim Boyd, that's who it was, and Ron Lockwood showed up later, and Rod from Hot Rod in Daytona was there. So we had a good group there. Friday, Saturday, it was a full house. I mean,
yeah, I bet.
that's where a
All the locals
lot of
rolled in.
people showed up.
Yeah, all the locals
Uh,
rolled in, right?
Finally got to meet Billy Kyle, which that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sean Oz showed up. Everybody was surprised they showed up because,
Sneaky.
day before he was talking about, oh, I don't know if I
Can't
can
get a
make it.
room. Yeah, yeah. He
Can't
was
get a room, can't
yeah,
get a car.
he was pulling your leg. See, surprised you guys.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Ken Dono was there. Tony, who's Tropic Drones, he was there. Then there was Charlie Mafia was there. He's drone psych. He was there. Uh, Rodney Bell was there. Oh, Chris of Doc Murdoch. He was there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
The doc.
that was pretty cool. So, and then there was Mark Fisher. He was the guy that crashed
Oh,
his
oh no.
DJI FPV into the
He's
to the river.
he was the U-boat commander.
Yes, he was.
Who's the U-boat commander from that famous Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah, it crashed right after he said, "Oh, this thing is easy to fly."
I heard
Splash.
I heard some talk
I
about
mean,
what really went down. Yeah, it's a bummer.
I had just got back from. I had issues with my cell phone. I couldn't uh, top it off, with my credit cards. It was just really weird. So I got that taken care of. Uh, Metro Drones drove me, and so we just pulled in and got out of his SUV and walking over. Oh man, did you see that? Did you see the drone crash? What? So that was pretty interesting. But earlier in the day, somebody else crashed an FPV drone. I guess they hit a tree and it bounced off the roof of
Oh
the
no!
the thing,
Did it
and
live?
I think it hit the water right close to shore.
Oh, is doesn't really matter. Is that fresh water or salt water in that particular?
Salt water.
Yeah, you're done. Game over.
Yeah, that's the Indian River. This is the
That's
Wabasso Inlet.
okay. Yeah, that's sad because
But it
it's
was
electronic.
really windy that day.
Yeah.
I had my drone with me, but I didn't even put it up. I wasn't gonna fly it in that crazy, crazy wind. But the following day, I went back there and I went fishing, and that's where I caught a porcupine fish.
Yeah, I
And
saw the
if
picture.
you don't,
Oh, you
folks, if you
posted a
don't know
picture of
what
it.
porcupine fish, it's part of the puffer fish family, and it blows up and it keeps predators from eating. And it's got these sharp spines, but unlike a porcupine, it's got these hook-shaped spines all over it. And when I got it out of the water, it started puffing up, and I'm like going, I got my hemostat, and I was going to take the hook out, and you open up its mouth, and it's like one big damn tooth. I'm like, and I couldn't
Uh,
get that
One
hemostat
tooth.
inside, and I said, screw it. I cut the line really close to its mouth and threw him back in, and he was fine.
Do they come from the backwoods if it only has one tooth? It's like a backwoods fish.
Well, it's like it's got an upper and lower molar.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
and Steve Mack, thank you, and Mike Roach, thank you very much. Yeah,
He's a good
thank you.
man.
Oh, $50. That's awesome,
He is awesome.
awesome, awesome. You rock, Mike. Cool.
For the audio
So,
bill. That's for the lawsuits later that ensue from the
yeah,
lack
there you
of audio.
but while I was fishing there, before I caught that fish, I saw this guy fishing off the bridge, and he hooked into a great big redfish. And that thing was this big. It was huge. And I'm watching him. I'm like, going, all right, how's he going to land that huge fish? So what he did is he walked over to the end, to where on the island on my side, and walked down, and then he hopped down in the water, and he landed that fish, and he goes, could you take my picture? And he hands me his cell phone, and I got a couple really nice pictures with.
Good man.
But
Man.
yeah,
just a little bit.
And then after he left, some kid from Michigan, probably in freshman or sophomore, first time ever fishing, and I had to help him get his gear set up. And whoever sold him this junk really screwed him, because the fishing line on it was like, it must have been like 20, 25 pound test. Way too thick. I mean, that'd be great for if you're out in
Like
open
deep sea
ocean.
fishing. Yeah.
But it was like a 5.5, 6 foot rod, spinning rod. And he said, yeah, the guy there said these are good. And it was a jig with the scented baits on it. And so I had to show him how to tie that on. And I said, here's what you do. Is you cast it out there and you reel it in and you kind of bounce it off the butt. All he did, he got up on the bridge and he just threw it in there and sat there.
Cast it out.
I'm like,
like I would do. It would have been as bad if I was there with you, Art. I would have been that guy too. Doesn't know a damn thing about fishing, and I know about drinking though. Half about fishing is drinking though, right? So yeah, that part okay.
I want to say hello to Ed. Love my drones. It was great meeting him there. Drone Life RC, Chris Wedgeworth, James Above and Beyond Drones, Jerry Bauer, Mel 400 AGL, and then this Chuck guy.
Yeah, this Chuck guy.
Co-vacation.
Who noticed that he didn't click the like button, so it'll take you to 5, but you have 16 watching, so there are 11 slackers out there. Yeah.
And Charles Meyer. All right, we got a good crowd going. Cool. We got Canadians here, and maybe a little later, Robbie RC might join in, all the way from the Netherlands.
Sweet.
I said Netherlands, not nether regions.
Still sweet.
So, you know.
Nether regions.
Okay, Oh, Ron Brown, he's still traveling. He can't make it, so that's cool. And my girlfriend's sister's telling me she hasn't seen my Florida video yet. Okay. All right, so
Fly Zone on here.
Fly Zone, welcome, and Brad Pear, welcome to the show. So it was a lot of fun.
So you gonna tell us the dirt? If we get to hear about dirt, gossip. No, it's gonna stay.
No,
what happens in Florida stays in Florida.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good, man. Code. It's okay.
I'm not into that kind of.
Okay, yeah. I respect
Other
that.
than while we were having dinner, the whole bunch of us went over to Texas Roadhouse, and I'm sitting with Carlos, Ed, and Mitch, and somebody's throwing wadded up, napkins and throwing them at Ed. And he thought it was Adrian, and Adrian Mateo showed up. He's
I saw him. I did some videos with him. Yeah, that's cool.
And it was Dan Drone Worship that was doing it. And he was prominent in my Florida video. So, but the food was awesome. Brad Alston was there. Matt Cundiff was there. And so had a really good time there. Wish I could have done a little more fishing. I went fishing Thursday, and it was so damn windy. I went over to the park where we did our flying on Friday, and I threw a line in one of the ponds, and it was just so windy that the wind kept
Come back at you.
pushing my line right back
Oh
to
yeah,
some weeds.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a bummer. It was windy up here too, though, in the Northeast. In fact, yesterday we had gale force wind, so I don't
Wow.
know, 60 plus mile an hour winds up here. Everything was rattling. Is that you guys had 30 plus down there? That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
enough to keep you grounded. That's a bummer. And then was it warm at least? At least it was warm.
Yeah, it was in the mid 70s,
Yeah.
but
So
I still had to wear my jacket down. I want to say hello to Cigar Nation Warriors. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So hopefully later James will pop in, and he's probably eating his waffles about now.
or pancakes.
Or pancakes.
Or
Yep.
pancakes. Yeah.
Michael McReynolds, welcome, welcome to the show.
I think.
Yes, Ed, it wasn't the best. You know, yeah, Saturday was about the best. The wind was not Saturday. Sunday is when I went fishing the day after. Chris, Sunrise Water Media, good to see you. Good, good. But I did get some other strikes. I would hook into a fish and I'm fighting it. He just got
Get
off.
away.
Yeah.
I'm a
And I
lousy
was
fisherman.
using shrimp for bait. Yeah.
Like Bubba Gump.
Yep. Bubba gump.
Bubba Gump. I can't say it on here. A bleep bleep
Okay.
genius. Bleep
Yeah.
yeah, genius. Oh man,
Oh man. But
that was
there were
after the storm shrimp when they hauled it all in.
yeah,
That's what you
that's
needed,
right.
Art. Maybe a good old storm. You would have made out like a bandit. You could have hauled them all in,
Yeah,
just like
there you
Bubba Gump
go.
and who was his partner there on the boat? Oh, what was that guy's
Oh,
name?
Lieutenant Dan.
Well, no, not
Lieutenant,
Dan. It was the other guy with him. It was Bubba actually. It was Bubba.
yeah.
That was
No,
his
Bubba
partner.
got killed.
He did. I thought he
Yeah,
was out
he's
on
the
the boat
one
with
that
him
he
after this.
dragged back. And he said, "Forrest, why is this stuff happening to me?"
Oh, that
And
is right. Yeah.
he died in his arms.
Then Lieutenant Dan was pissed at him because he saved his life and he lost his legs and he lived.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, he
Okay.
wanted to die like all his other ancestors that died in wars,
But
going all the way to the Revolutionary War.
you know, that was a really good special effect because the guy clearly they didn't cut his legs off for the role. That's the kind of magic that you can do with
Yeah.
Da Vinci now in your own videos. But that was
Yep.
amazing stuff
Yeah,
then.
he was wearing green socks.
That's how they do it. Okay.
Yep, that all the way up to his knees.
Green screen.
Yep.
Yeah. You used green screen a couple weeks ago and you had your shirt on.
Yeah, that's right.
The bodiless
My
art.
Yep, my Iguana Solutions shirt.
It's too bad you can't toggle from like green screen to blue screen for stuff like that.
Huh. Hmm.
I don't think you can on like all
No.
these programs.
Yeah.
Because it used to be blue screen back in the 70s. I remember.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Oh, and while I was fishing, I saw a dolphin.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. He was under the bridge. Evidently, there must have been a school of small fish that it was feeding off of. First, I saw his dorsal fin and his fluke, and then I saw his head bob up and down. I'm
Cool.
like, oh, cool.
They are cool. Dolphins are
Yep,
freaking awesome.
yep.
Too bad you couldn't get like the FPV drone out and chase them down.
Yeah, that would have been
That'd
cool.
be a cool
Yep,
video.
yep.
Did anybody fly the
So,
FPVs in real high winds? They fly okay in high winds typically.
yeah,
They cut through it better.
yeah. Well, somebody put up, I think it was a Phantom 3 or Phantom 4. and it handled that wind just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's a bigger drone. Props are
yeah,
better sized. Yeah.
yeah. And someone else, I think, was flying a Mavic Mini up
Really?
there. Yeah,
They get tossed around. I know I've seen videos like,
yep,
some guys have flown those, and if they're trying to
yep,
come in against the wind, sport mode might get them
yeah,
back. Maybe not.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a crapshoot. Like, could have been that windy then, because they're good for like 25 miles an hour, I think, maybe 30 at best. You guys
yeah.
hit 30. Huh.
Well, I think my the Air 2 will do over 40. Yeah,
35 or 40, yeah.
yeah,
Still, I don't know,
yeah.
man. It's like the winds might be 30 or 40 miles per hour on the ground, but then you go up 100 feet, and it's a whole nother freaking world.
Yep.
And then you
Yeah,
have
that's
problems.
true.
So I know that's one of the tricks
Yep,
they tell you, that you can drop altitude if you start to get blown away. Bring her down closer
yep,
to
yep.
the ground without landing on water or anything like that. In water, on water becomes in water. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at that park where we flew, I guess on Sunday, Carlos flew his little uh, tiny hawk into one of those little ponds out there.
Have any
Wow.
videos of people flying through like sewer pipes and stuff?
No,
Nothing crazy like that. That'd be good
no.
stuff.
I guess that guy that lost his DJI FPV, I guess he was flying under the bridge there. And I think the reason why everybody, well, he lost signal, but then it came back. I think it was the return to home feature
I
probably brought it back.
I heard
Yeah,
about this. I heard that it was in hover mode, so it broke signal and it was hovering under the bridge. And
right?
then he got signal back and thought he had saved the day, and then I think maybe he got a little overconfident or something, and then
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
crashed, and then did crash. Oh,
yeah.
I
He
just
brought it up and I think he was
yeah.
doing a power loop or something
Oh, here we
and he
go.
didn't
Yeah,
pull up in time.
the FAA calls that machoism in the test. There's like there are all these
Yeah,
things you're not supposed to do, and machoism is one that sticks in my head.
yep.
It's like
And that's on the test for
yes,
your
yeah,
107. Yeah,
that's one of the things. Yep,
yep,
behavioral. The man, there's like psychology on there. It's
yep. That's right. That's
yeah.
right. Mhm.
You're 107, aren't you, Art?
Yes, I am.
Well, all right.
Yep,
You probably remember
yep.
more than I do, though. I was on drone therapy a couple weeks back with Ron,
Right,
and we were doing METARs and TAFs, and it took me about halfway through the show to remember it. I was like
right.
struggling. What else we got on here?
Trying to get the like that corner is just. Oh, it's the other corner.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Fly Zone drone quadcopters, talking about the FPV Mini. Um, Myself and the K Spot and Billy Kyle and Henry Robotic were on this morning on a live stream, and Billy and we were all surmising that that's probably what they're up to. Can you imagine a mini FPV drone? How cool would that
Wow,
be?
that would be cool.
Pretty
That would
cool.
be cool.
Just in time for Christmas, maybe. Use your same goggles and your controller. Just buy the little mini drone.
Yeah, could
Sweet.
be. And then there's the Air 2S, which is cool.
Yeah, that looks pretty legit with an FCC label. That looks legit. We'll see.
Yep. Hold on.
What's Mike Roach doing? Yeah, Above and Beyond was talking about the Air 2S. That looks that looks pretty cool. I don't know if I need to replace a Mavic 2 Pro with it, but it looks formidable.
Hey, let's welcome all the way from St. Augustine, Florida. It is Ed. Love my drones. Welcome to the show. Good to see you, Ed.
Hey,
Uh,
Art, it was a good time down there in
It sure
I
was.
wasn't South Florida to me. That's Central Florida, but never mind.
Yeah, yeah. And I got my shirt that I got. Yeah. Yep. So Ed, anything to add? What was your experience down there?
Okay. It was awesome meeting everybody. The
Yes.
only downside was I froze my butt off.
Yeah.
It was cold. I was ill prepared.
Wait a second, Ed. Cold?
Yes, I was cold.
I thought Art
Yes.
said it was 70 something.
Yeah, but that's
Art
when the
is out of
sun
his
is out.
brain because there's no way it was 70.
Well, I kept looking at my UAV weather forecast, and it's
Right.
saying
Okay.
70
Okay,
something
wait. Just
degrees.
stop. Stop. Just a minute. Is that the same UAV forecast that said the winds were at 9 miles an hour?
No, I was getting actual speeds. It was like in the teens with gusts in the 30s.
Yeah, there were actually squall warnings offshore.
Yep. Hmm.
So, there's no way it was 70. Either that or I'm just cold natured as crap now.
Well, you're climatically adjusted to Florida. That's all. Because Art and I are used to that strange white stuff behind his background.
Now, there's some
Yeah,
proof to that, but
yeah.
somebody told me they were from up north. I can't remember who it was. And they said they were cold too. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
some of us were smart enough to bring a heavy jacket.
Good
you
move.
know,
That's right. There's
that's
no
my
bad
fault.
weather. Oops.
I
Sorry,
pride
Mike.
myself on usually being prepared, but I was not.
There are
I
no bad.
packed
There are no
one
bad
Yeah, you
pair
weather
of
showed
days.
long
up in a
pants.
Hawaiian shirt.
Was a thermal insulated Hawaiian shirt.
Actually, the
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt helped block the wind a lot.
They should have quilted Hawaiian shirts for us guys up north.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I feel like it looks like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's quilted, like those things I used to wear back in the old days when I would go
You
camping.
know what's funny, Chuck, is I always found that shirt hot, and I only wore it because of Mitch.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, Mitch was wearing his Hawaiian shirt and a jacket.
Yeah. So anyway, I had packed a shirt because I knew I was going to be around Mitch at some point. So then I remembered about it feeling hot. So that's when I put it over the Rodney Bell shirt I was already wearing.
Hey, Mitch, I sent you a link. If you want to pop in, you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about your experience at the event. And Ron Brown was there. It was great meeting him. And boy, there were a whole bunch of folks. Oh, there was Carol James was there. He's that Vietnam vet that was wearing the jacket that had all the battles they was at in Vietnam. And that was pretty interesting. Who else was there? Oh, Stevie Bronx was there. So
Did Eddie make it down there? Eddie Nunez? Did he make it down?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. No, there were a couple guys from, Chuck Mafia. He's the other guy from Providence. Oh, Michael Blade was there.
Michael Blade, yeah.
Yep.
I crossed paths with
Michael
those
Blade,
guys.
very cool guy.
You know, it's
Yeah.
ironic. They all came back from Florida, and I ended up crossing paths with those guys on YouTube, which is kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Now I'm in. They have a group on Facebook that's pretty neat.
Oh, Mitch says he's outside on his cell phone. Okay.
Well, all right.
Hey Art, I know you've done these before. This was my first time I've ever done any kind of meetup, and it was a blast.
Yep.
Wow, I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. I think this is my third meetup. I went to Spin Up back in 19. That was Spin Up number 2. And then I went to Spin Down up in Dillon. And that was kind of a challenge for me because you're going from, 1 mile high up to 9,000 feet. And
A couple miles almost.
I don't do too well with high altitudes.
Well, you're
Luckily, I
pre-acclimated to
got
a
a
mile
ride
high.
up there.
Sorry, Lucky, you got to ride up.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim, the four-eyed canine gave me a ride up there. Yep.
I've heard that even in Colorado, for somebody like me, you get like oxygen sickness or whatever
Yep.
when you are deprived. I guess it's very
Now,
unpleasant. It's like you look at your hands and like transparent and stuff, and really weird stuff happens to you. It's pretty freaky. So
now you could at convenience stores you can actually buy
yeah,
canisters of
canister.
air.
I heard
Yeah.
that. I had a coworker who went up because their son moved out to Aurora, I think it is, outside of
Yep.
Denver. And
Yeah, I used to live there.
yeah, it's actually pretty nice out there. I went to a couple of breweries when I visited, but we never went up Pikes. We went up Pikes Peak or whatever. We never went up there. But
Yeah.
I heard stories that she said she did, and yeah, they had bought oxygen, and good thing they did because they needed it. Because she started to get that feeling I was telling you about. This really like not pleasant.
Yep. Well, for me, if I start hearing a buzzing noise and I start getting tunnel vision,
Yeah.
that means I'm going to pass out pretty soon.
Well, that ain't good.
Yeah.
What about flying the
And-
drones up there? How isn't that like Sean Oz has experience with that, where you flying at
Yeah.
altitude?
Well,
'cause
we
you don't
flew
have
our
as much lift.
drones up in Dillon at Spin Down, and I got a video of that. We were like right next to the lake, and it was windy as well. I froze my butt off up there. And speaking of freezing butts, let's welcome all the way from Melbourne, Florida. It is Mitch, old guy, and a drone
And a
With his
cigar.
stogie.
How you doing, guys?
Long after, Smith.
It's like freaking Schwarzenegger. Look at that. That's one of those great big Cuban
You know-
cigars he's got burning.
Well, I thought I'd come in and say hello. It's a pain holding this stupid cell phone up, but
You can hold the
See-
cigar just fine, though.
well, it's a
Priorities.
funny. Some guy gave me a hard time about masks, and I said the masks don't do shit, So I took it. I inhaled a big mouthful of cigar smoke. I put my mask on and blew it out, and it went everywhere. The smoke went everywhere. And I said, do you know that the size of a smoke particle is about the same size as a COVID molecule, a COVID
Yeah, you
virus,
should-
about 3 microns. So I said, that's how effective these masks are.
You should
You
do
know,
a
it's
video on
funny
that.
when you say that because, I don't do the mask anymore and I have to, but I wear them I've been wearing them when I went into the convenience store and Home Depot because they have a sign that requests that you do so. So
I
that's
do.
me. That's what I do. Oh, and Walmart.
Well, what I
Today when I went to the Circle K, the sign is off the door.
That's
And I'm
about
like, well,
time.
screw this. I'm not wearing
Let me
it
ask-
now.
Mitch, seriously, dude, when you did that, have you tried it like with and without a mask? Because supposedly the theory is that it like acts like a diffuser, so that like the particles can't travel as far as fast.
No, it doesn't
Right?
matter. It went everywhere. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. And this is something I'd like to take a survey next week. We had 40 to 50 people down here in Florida
Yep.
from all over the country. There wasn't a mask in sight. If you look at the
Except
video.
for Adrian.
And even he took it off. Guys were hugging each other. Guys were shaking hands. Guys were talking 2 feet face to face. There was no social distancing. It was as if COVID didn't exist. And as far as I've heard right now, nobody has come out and said, "Hey guys, I caught COVID at the Florida meetup." So it's going to be interesting to see if anybody got sick from all that clothes. Now remember, guys, people came from all over the country.
Yep.
Some drove, some flew. You know, if there was any place where you were going to catch this, it would have been down here last weekend.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what to make of it. I'm not. I got my first shot. I got jabbed today for the first time, but
I got my shot. I got the 1-shot deal on Thursday.
Oh, you J&J?
J&J, yeah, and
Johnson & Johnson.
I haven't had really any side effects from it. My arm didn't even get sore, so.
I only did number 1 of Pfizer, so I don't know yet. The verdict's still up.
Yeah, they say the second shot's the one that.
That's the one you're supposed to.
That's the one that gets you. Yeah,
you're supposed to hydrate, and I've heard that too.
Yeah, I just talked to Ron Lockwood about that.
Yeah, Ron had a rough go of it.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
I think the cigars basically kill the COVID.
See, that's like my theory with drinking. See, I think I was like,
I agree.
Alcohol. That's blacked out. Ed, where'd you go, man? You turned the lights out. Where'd you go?
Safety meeting.
Ed, it was great. You know, it was really good to meet you, Art, when you were down here. It's the first time we ever met, and Ed, it was great meeting you. But interestingly enough, it was like, you know, you meet these guys in person, but it's not like it's not the impact of meeting. It was kind of nonplussed by all that because it was like we were all old friends anyway already.
Well, because we've been on live streams together.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about this stuff.
Yeah,
that's what's so freaking cool about it. And can you imagine what do we do before this stuff? Before Zoom and YouTube and Steve.
Actually, used to meet people. We used to actually.
Oh, that's right.
We used to go out and do things instead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we went outside.
That's right.
We did. We went outside. Played when we were kids. We rode our bicycles around
until dark. Yep.
Yeah, until the street lights came on. I think I told you about this one before. We had the one on the corner near the school where me and my buddies would ride our bikes up. If we kicked it hard enough, the light would go out. So I'm like, good, the light's out. We can still stay out a little longer. There's all the other street lights around, but not this one.
So I can't see the chat, guys, because I'm on my cell phone. So if anybody says hi to me in the chat, hi back at you.
All right. I want to say hello to Shani, all the way from Taiwan. She's Mind's Journey. And Finchfield Hockey Talk. Good to see you. And Ray Kelly is here.
Hey,
Hi, Ray.
Wow, Ray's in the house.
Got your hat on, brother.
When you first started this stream, did you hear all of us screaming at you? I texted
you.
Oh,
I didn't. How can I hear?
I sent you a text saying, turn on your microphone.
I was sitting in the waiting room.
I got a phone call from Mel.
I know. I saw you answer.
So I pick up the phone. Man. Yeah, it's like, and you were like, we're watching you because I'm like typing, there's no audio. And everybody else is typing, there's no audio, Art. And I'm on the private chat typing, there's no audio.
No audio.
And you're like this. You're like, we thought you were like yelling at somebody because you're like.
Some of us thought that was an improvement, Art, actually.
It's kind of funny.
So I had my Ken Heron moment right there.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I thought Ken was going to have a stroke the other night.
Oh, yeah. God. Yeah, me too.
He did turn red. He said he was going to turn red, and he really did.
It's a good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing that, you know, I think Ken Dono ought to hang out a shingle, man. He came on there and really and
he reeled him in.
Really calmed him down.
Talked him down.
Yeah.
Dono did a good job with that. I was agreeing. I was like, I was thinking, dude, it's like I was doing this silly like live stream where I was unwrapping the freewell filters for the FPV drone with this dude Henry Robotic, and the whole thing, like, it didn't stream, it wasn't live because it's the first time I ever tried to do it. And like he's like, Chuck, we're not live, and we'd ripped the cellophane off and showed him everything. Here they are. And I was like, what? We're not live. And, like everybody's typing the thing, like we can't. It like froze. Everything froze. Like for the first like 20 minutes was nothing. we get it working. And then it was like, all right, let's do it again. So Here's the box. Here's the filters, and it was kind of like
Take two.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the first
I
one.
did, I did that when I first started live streaming. I started out with the microphone turner because I run my intro and I play music in the background, and I don't want the mic hot while that's going on because it'll pick, into the mixer, it'll pick up anything I said. So I usually turn the mic off at the mixer, and I forgot to turn it on one time. And I learned real quick at that point that the minute you go live, lock your eyes on the chat real quick.
Yeah.
Because if you forgot to turn your mic on, they're going to let you know about it right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny though. I mean, that stuff happens to all of us, but like Ken works so hard to prepare for those things that he just really freaked out because
Ken takes it more seriously than most of us because Ken's life is professional show business, whereas the rest of us are just hacks at this. And people understand we're not in professional show business. We're not professional broadcasters. We're just guys playing professional broadcasters. So we screw up.
Yeah, we're just trying to share our love of flying is all,
That's all it is. Not that serious. Don't take it. And I think Ken takes it too seriously because nobody cares. In fact, it's entertaining. People go to NASCAR races to watch the crashes.
Watch the crashes. That's right.
Not the great rate. Yeah.
I think people tune into Ken Heron's show to watch wire crash in action.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why they call it wire crash to begin with. Appropriately named.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that was something. But he'll live. The sun will still come up and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
So Chuck, what'd you think of the toffee?
Oh my god, dude, that is so good. And I remember I told you I wasn't going to open it till my wife was around, so I ripped it all open and we broke the hermetic seal and everything, and it is like so good. The almond stuff is just
5 minutes. Last 5 minutes, the whole package.
I resisted. I don't know
how you did that. I don't know.
I don't either. I said, okay, I'm gonna have one piece, and then I looked at my wife, Laura. I'm like, "You gonna try this stuff?" She's like, "I don't know. What about like dental work and stuff?" I said, "Just chew on the other side. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
So she did, and she's like, "This is really good." I was like, "Yeah." And then we set it aside. We'll see. Well, somehow, Mitch, we held out. I don't know how, but
I believe.
Thank you, Art. That's really, really delicious. And now I feel like a jerk because one of the people on here gave me their toffee, and I can't remember who it was.
Oh, it might have been Ten Toes.
Were you there?
Yes, Ten Toes.
Well,
what a jerk I am. I'm a jerk because this is exactly what I'm talking about. When it's like, how could I not remember that? And I didn't remember that. Yeah, from Oklahoma, because Ten Toes is an Oklahomian, right?
Yep.
I remember that part about him, and then I remember they gave me this toffee, which was super awesome. So yeah, thank you guys. I told you the second thing to go is memory. I can't remember what the first thing is.
You wait. You're still a baby. Wait till you get up there a little bit.
Oh, dude, yeah. Heron and I are the same age, just so you know.
And how about these?
What I said, you're a baby.
Thank you, Brad Alston. Great, good job.
Oh, those are cool. I saw the video.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah, they're cool. We got badges. We all have badges.
I am putting mine to use right now.
It was very official with the badges and everything.
And then Johnny Drone Flyer gave us these.
Did you guys do a sticker? Did you do a sticker trade? That's really cool.
Oh, I got a handful of stickers.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, and then Sean Oz.
Nice.
Yep.
The FPV guys all had stickers. I know Mike Train gave me some stickers. Danny, Drone Worship, gave me a whole handful of stickers.
Art, there must be some green. Oh, sorry, Mitch. Art, there must be some green on that sticker you just held up because it goes right through your background.
Well, it's
that's
yellow.
Funky. Yeah, that's
yellow.
Funky.
Will do that too.
Yeah,
funky.
No one gave me any damn stickers.
Well, that's because you were hiding over there off by the building by yourself, Ed, trying to stay warm.
Because I was freezing my butt off.
And Brad Alston made these.
Oh, I like your credentials things. Those are cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, they were awesome. Brad did a great job.
You guys did.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really nice thing. It's nice because you can't remember everybody's names always, and it's really cool if like everybody's marked like that. Nice.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. It was a great time. We had a great weekend. I was very lucky that I didn't have to drive very far to it. And
Yeah.
That's true.
it's nice. It's nice when it's in your backyard like this.
Yep.
So, Mitch, what was the temperature? Because we're having this battle here.
It was in the lower 70s. It was a little cool in the morning, but the wind out there on the causeway
Cut right through you.
Oh, it was blowing like crazy and blowing a lot of dust and dirt up, and every one of us had a sore throat. Every one of us lost our voice from breathing, from shouting all day over the wind at each other, and breathing in all that dust.
Yeah, that's no. I'm just sorry you guys couldn't
red
fly more
eyes.
because that's
Red eyes.
the dust. Yeah, that's horrible. I'm sorry you guys couldn't fly more because that would have been pretty awesome. I mean, that's a big deal. You have drones, all these drones, and you can't fly them.
Well,
a lot of flying was done on both Friday and Sunday.
Yes, that's when we had the FPV guys. And actually we had a lot of the camera drone guys out there on Sunday too. Adrian came out, and Lon Denard was out there, and Bill Metro Drones was out there whipping around with his DJI FPV drone, flying the hell out of that thing. It was really good, but it was great. It was just really great to meet the guys. That was the best part of it.
Yeah,
the flying was almost secondary to just getting together and meeting everybody.
Yeah.
Agreed with that. And that demonstration of the emergency stop on the DJI FPV drone by Bill Metro Drones was amazing.
That was the scariest thing I ever saw.
I haven't tried it on mine.
Well, I'll tell you what. He came on. He was in sport mode, flat out. Come right across in front of
60 miles an hour,
and hit the panic stop button, and that drone stood up straight. No, straight vertical. It went pointed straight up at the sky, and the motors revved up, and it just came to a screeching halt in about a foot or two.
Amazing.
And then leveled itself off and hovered. But I've never seen any drone do that.
I'll tell you what, I was flying mine with the motion controller for the first time, and I was over at this open school parking lot, and there's nobody around, and I couldn't get the thing to land because I didn't. Why would I read the instructions on the motion controller, right? So I can't figure out how to land the stupid thing, and I'm like, it's like 23 degrees out. So anyway, I just okay, I'll grab the drone and I'll turn it 90 degrees, right? Because they DJI drones are shut off. So I start to rotate the thing. It's like,
oh really?
Like, oh my god, how much power does this thing have? I can see what you said happening, because like that thing has got power, man.
It does.
Holy crap! I couldn't turn it 90 degrees. I couldn't rotate it 90 degrees with my stronger right arm. I know it's weakling and everything.
I don't think that's the way you're supposed to stop them. It's not a Mavic.
I didn't know what the hell to do, and it was in normal mode, so I figured I had a fighting chance of doing it that way. If it was in sport or freaking manual, there wouldn't have been a chance. So I was like, maybe this will work. So I tried it. Yeah, it didn't work. So I ended up I'm grabbing onto it, and I'm grabbing onto the thing by the bottom, by the battery. It's like, it's like trying to get away. I'm trying to tap the power button on the back of the battery to kill it. I gotta kill this thing. Because I was afraid if I did any other way, it was going to come just drop out of the sky and land on the tarmac below and shatter into a million pieces. So anyway, that did it though. Power off, hold it, and it was fighting it. It fought it the whole time, man. Just like Art when you're reeling in that fish, just like. I wonder if anybody saw me doing that. Nobody was around. That would have been hilarious if somebody recording all that stuff.
That's what the B-roll is for.
Yeah, that would have been good. I don't have any of it.
Well, I've got a picture for you guys, so sit back and enjoy.
You got a what for us?
To do it for Rick thing?
Picture. If you can figure out how to do it.
Oh, yeah, the porcupine fish.
My porcupine fish.
The fish.
That is actually a spiny boxfish. And they look awesome in an aquarium.
Yep.
I had a couple in an aquarium, but
Did you guys see the video? Do it for Rick.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it.
There's probably 20 of them.
Night Train just shared it in the chat.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that yet. I was here.
Was that Ron Lockwood's video?
Yeah,
No,
it starts
it's one
off.
Mike
was,
just
yeah.
put up.
Yeah, Ron Lockwood did just a great video.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And that video they did with Jim Boyd, that was really good too.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for sniffling. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's in the air or what. But oh boy, I got a runny nose all day today. And Night Train drove all the way from Michigan down here, and he's the one that picked up Ed and brought him down.
Yeah,
So,
that was great. That was really nice of him. And Dan, Drone Worship, man, he did a lot of work. He drove over here and camped. He cooked for the guys out there at the park, cooked breakfast stuff and everything. We all enjoyed that.
Cool.
I may have misunderstood that guy. I feel bad.
Don't ever separate with Dan. Dan is once you get to, he's a great guy, but he's got his shtick for YouTube. So don't confuse the shtick with the person. You know.
All
what
right,
I mean?
I think I have.
Yeah.
You got. Hey,
I know
Chuck,
I have.
You gotta see the FPV, the DJI FPV crash that Drone Worship did. Make sure you look at the Top Gun edition.
Oh, that's harsh.
3 minutes long, and it is freaking hilarious.
Oh, I can't. That's just I can't. That's horrible to watch anybody crash the drone. That just sucks.
Hey, got it back.
Well, he got it back.
But it went in the drink, didn't it?
It's going to go back. It's going back to DJI.
Yeah,
but at least he got it back thanks to Mark Fisher, who got brave and went in there to get it.
I guess he has the right last name, right? Fisher.
Yeah.
Fished it. Yeah.
Yeah, right, Chuck.
Yeah, it's still that sucks. I've had some close calls. I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't lost one in the drink yet, but man, I had the Pacific try to eat one on me when I was in Oregon a couple of years ago. It tried. Friggin' thing.
When that bird hit the water, it looked like a pelican going after a fish.
It did. Yes, it did. Yeah. And he was trying to
Michael Blade is in the chat, and so is
Michael,
Greg.
Yeah, there were so many Michaels there.
Welcome, guys.
There were so many Michaels at this thing.
Yeah.
We couldn't keep track of them all.
There's a lot.
Yeah, Mike Kelly,
popular name.
Copper State drone
Mike
aerials.
Kelly, Michael Wright, Michael Blade, Mike Kinney.
Yep.
So if you just say, "Hey, Mike," like four or five freaking guys turn.
Oh yeah,
or more.
Yeah, it took a few days to get them all straight too. Finally got them straight though. Now I know who's who.
Yeah,
who's who in the zoo.
I'll tell you, Michael Blade. Okay, I've seen Michael Blade forever in the chat. It seems, I don't know about forever, but in chats, or on my videos or whatever. Usually my live stream. But he's one of the people that I met that I had never seen on a live stream, in person.
Right, didn't know him, wouldn't recognize him. I understand.
And you could tell though, because he had just gotten, I guess, the Tiny Hawk 2. Yeah, he has the Tiny Hawk 2, I think. But he flew it for the first time outside on Friday, I think it was. And
that must have been after I left.
Part of the morning on Sunday, but it was cool, man. He'd only done the FPV inside in his house before.
That's
and
a whole
then Carlos let him fly his Freestyle 2 also.
Yeah, it's a different deal outside because you don't have that ceiling over the top of your head.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I took a tiny whoop outside. I had just started flying FPV. I was still very scared and nervous, and it was a little M80, little Eachine M80 thing. And
Yeah.
I'm flying, and the next thing I knew, I was up at 200-300 feet, saying, "How the hell did I get way up here?"
Yeah,
Well,
you can get high.
my
quick.
goggles just showed up yesterday, Mitch.
What goggles?
Which goggles?
Viper
Oh,
goggles.
good. Yeah, you'll like those. Yeah, that's what Ed and Carlos use.
Yep.
I love mine, Art. Awesome.
Yeah, you're going to like them a lot better than those little Emax goggles. Bob Casey gave me some. He had a couple tiny whoops, and he couldn't get them to work, so he left them with me, and I got everything straightened out for him. But that's the first time I ever actually had a pair of those Emax goggles and that little radio in my hands, and actually tried it. And I couldn't wear the goggles. They were too small to fit over my glasses.
Right.
And so I did fly the little Tiny Hawk 2 around the house line of sight for a while, and I just can't get used to that little tiny transmitter, Art. And you'll find that if you get a real transmitter, like a Radio Master or one of those, Tyrannus, that your flying will improve 1,000%.
Right. Hey, I want to say hello to James, my PI Dream. He's watching us right now, and Gene Fox at Green Mountain Droning. Welcome to the show. And then we have
we're an hour earlier.
Drone 1 in
the
the
fisherman.
chat. Oh, and Bill, Coast to Coast Drones. Good to see you.
Hi,
welcome, welcome. And now it is time for toffee giveaway. So everybody in the chat that's in the United States only, sorry, I can't afford to ship these toffee to overseas. Let's see what we got.
What you got?
Chuck, did you get the dark chocolate or the milk chocolate?
It's dark chocolate almond. That stuff right there.
Okay.
That is God.
I got both. I've got one of each.
That is God.
And so pick a number between 1 and 50, and I will spin the wheel of champions.
And I'm going to take this opportunity, Art, to bow out of here because I'm getting tired of holding this cell phone. Well, thank you, Chuck, but I got to sit here and finish my cigar. But I'll be watching and keeping an eye on you, so behave yourselves.
I'll do my best to behave.
Well, thanks for coming in, Mitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mitch. Nice seeing you, man.
Good to see you, Ed, and Art, and everybody.
Oh, there he goes. Just like that.
That was quick.
That was like a bye. Actually,
I think he hit the button a little too early or something.
We didn't hear the whole thing. Is but.
No, man. I mean, it's like the guy didn't even really care about.
Yeah.
He probably has rich parents or something. The guy with the DJI drone that crashed into the water.
Oh, I don't know. I was spoiled rotten too, but I still take care of my stuff because I don't want to crash or lose anything.
No, what it is, look, man. Hey, Chuck, I've seen this time and time again.
Yeah.
Because I do these live streams where people live fly, and I'm telling you, when somebody else is watching you fly, you start showing off. And you
machoism, baby.
All right, speaking of machoism, it is time for the spin. Let's spin that wheel. Let's see if I got it. Okay, and here we go.
Round and round and round she goes. Lucky 13.
Lucky 13, and who's got 13?
Fly Zone Drone Quadcopters.
All right. Yep, I see it. Let's go back and.
I went all the way up to me. I was. Yep. That looks like the first 13.
All right, Fly Zone Quadcopter. Email me your address, and I will ship this out to you.
Oh, you're in for a treat, man. This stuff's good. It's good.
Alrighty, and back to regular programming.
No more toffee. I mean, no. More toffee. Not no more toffee. No. Pause. More toffee. How about that? Had to get it right the third time.
Yes, Mike, Night Train. Yes, he picked a bunch of numbers, I know. Oh, Bill says I'll enter 1 through 50 next week.
Well, if he hadn't thrown up a bunch of numbers, Art might have been spinning that damn wheel for hours.
Till his hand fell off. Ow.
Hey, it's good toffee, man. I've had it.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. And I'm good friends with the family, the Enstrom family, and boy, their stuff is really good. If you're ever in Denver, try their ice cream. Oh God, their ice cream is awesome.
Okay, you give me an excuse to come back to Denver.
I'm a chocoholic, so I get the double chocolate ice cream.
I never get any chocolate of any kind, because if I do, I will eat all of it.
I love you guys.
I love you guys. Stop until it's done. Art, that coffee you sent me did not make the night. Once I opened that, it was history.
That you and Mitch had the same thing. He said his only lasted 5 minutes.
I've gained willpower then somehow, because I'm fighting it, but I'm on a show.
Well, you and my sister. My sister, she got one of those half-pound boxes.
Yeah.
And she'll just like break off a chunk and she'll put it away in the
I can't do
I'm not that good. I just had, for some reason, I had a moment of strength today, because normally it's like just, you know, like those dark chocolate Hershey's Kisses that came out with the raspberry stuff in the center. It's like Homer Simpson, you know? It's like,
yeah.
You can't stop.
Yeah, right.
Can't stop. Oh no! Yeah. It's like that was wait, no, I'm thinking of those eyeball, those fish egg things in like in Mandalorian. No, Mandalorian. Remember when Grogu was eating the thing's babies, the frog thing's babies, like oh. You guys didn't see that Mandalorian?
No, I don't have cable.
Oh, you don't need cable for Disney Plus. You just need money.
I'm a cheap bastard.
Well, that's okay. It just went up $1 a month or something. They're trying to fleece us. But Grogu is pretty funny, though. You know, Baby Yoda.
But they make more than toffee. Their candies are just out of this world, because it's made right here in Colorado. It's made at their factory is in Grand Junction, which is on the west slope.
Oh, okay. I think
and so they have 3 stores, one in Grand Junction, 2 here in the Denver metro area, and one of them is pretty close to where I live. Yeah.
I got to get back out there, Art. I told you I was out there on business twice, and neither time I got to spend a lot of time. Just I had a couple of days on a weekend there, me and the wife. But we got to get back out and explore. And I'll hit that place for sure. You ever been to Trinity? You ever been to Trinity Brewing? Kind of like down towards what's a little further south, down towards like Garden of the Gods and all that kind of territory.
Colorado Springs. Yeah.
Yeah, down that way.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, cool brewery.
Never been west of East Texas myself.
Yeah.
I love to see the Rockies, that's for sure.
They're hard to miss when you're out there, that's for sure. Yeah. But you're right, Colorado Springs, you can't fly the drone at Garden of the Gods. I asked nicely before I was flying out there, like called up and was doing the investigation, like, no, you can't. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So there's like because it's a national park. And so I drove my wife, I was like, I gotta find a place to fly. We drove down further, and there's like this there's a scenic area, kind of like like the Garden of the Gods was over like here, and like we found this there's like a little park that was, you know, far less traveled, and I was like, had similar stuff but smaller scale. That's why I flew the drone.
Oh, okay.
My little Mavic Air, I popped it up there because it was legit. But I saw the Garden of the Gods from the air from over there, but it was kind of off in the distance.
Pretty much all of Colorado Springs is a no-fly zone because, number one, you have the Air Force Academy.
Why did nothing pop up on the app then? It looked like it was. I looked on like Air Map and stuff.
Air Force Base is right there.
Did I hit a hole?
Just to the south is Fort Carson. Yep.
I plead the fifth. Yeah. It was just a Mavic Air anyway. It couldn't go very far in the air because it breaks connection. What a piece of
I know.
Disappointing drone.
That was the one thing that every time I fly that and I get a certain distance in it, I get a lost signal warning.
Yeah, and that's even if you didn't forget to flip the little landing legs down, which I did that once or twice. Forget to flip them down. Yeah. That certainly doesn't help your signal one bit.
Oh, and get those antennas pointed the right way.
Yep, on the remote. But
you
could certainly hear that thing of, as far as you could fly it away from you could hear it to get it back. Screaming.
Cool. Yeah, but now with the Air 2, with OcuSync, boy, that's rock steady signal right there.
OcuSync 2 is really good. OcuSync 3 is solid in the FPV drone too, unless you're overseas, as the guys like Keith will tell you that. Yeah, no bueno. No, it's horrible. Boy. He said he was line of sight. He was flying over the water, and he was completely line of sight, and he got maybe, what did he say? Did he say it was like 100 meters away? No, it must have been more than that. Anyway, he's very disappointed. And then anytime he flew in trees and stuff, it didn't have the penetration to get the signal. It would break connection, and it would try to do the return to home tactic.
What was that word again?
You like that word? Penetration? Signal penetration?
Ooh.
I had to think twice before I said it because I have a dirty mind, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, we get it.
OcuSync 2, though, they weaken it overseas. They don't have FCC mode like we do here in the States. So they have like half the power we have, and as you know, like you're talking about, OcuSync 2 is rock solid. I mean, you think never breaks connectivity here in the States.
Well, I have the Autel Evo, and it's very similar to OcuSync.
Similar radio setup, yeah.
Yep. Very solid signal.
Did you see that Fimi X8 or whatever it is? The little itty bitty. It's like their mini. They have a new one that's like a mini. It's a ripoff of the mini, basically.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's out on their website. That thing has like 5 kilometers of range or something, very much like the Mini 2.
I think Bill's ready for next week.
Bill's ready for next week.
Greg says No Limit Drones is full power.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill likes to get into my shorts, it seems. Or maybe he doesn't mean to. He's a good guy, but man, he gets me. I've been having some stuff going on the side personally. It's making me laugh. I guess that's good. It's reverse psychology. He's messing with me.
Yep.
Thank you, Bill. I'm sorry. How long did it take to type that, Bill?
Hey, let's welcome all the way from Silverthorne, Sean Oz. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Did your
cleaned up.
Customer
cleaned up.
Bow out or something?
No, they're coming in about 10 minutes. So I had about 5 minutes to stop in and say
okay, great. Well, it was a real surprise seeing you at
Echo.
At the meetup.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a little better.
Yeah, man.
There.
It was at the last minute that everything sort of fell together.
Awesome.
So we decided to make a quick little family trip out of it. Piggyback it with the meetup.
Cool. Cool,
Slick.
cool.
The element of surprise, Sean.
Yeah.
The element
I
of surprise.
was going to jump out of the trunk, but I think Ken and Billy would have left me in the trunk.
Yeah.
So you got to go to Universal City while you were down there, right?
Yeah, we did. We did another beach day and went surfing, rented some surfboards, and then the next day we went to Universal Studios for the day.
Cool, cool, cool. Cool. And so your thoughts on the meetup?
I think it might have been windier than it was at the one here in Dillon.
Yeah. I think you might be right.
It was crazy windy, man.
It was.
But besides that, it was a good time. I would have probably dug it if we were on the beach a little more because we could have tried to follow some surfers and stuff like that. But at the same time, it wouldn't really matter because the wind was so crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was a good time meeting everybody and meeting putting faces to names I've seen online for so long, as well as,
thank you for the stickers.
Nice stickers.
Yeah, I'm working on new ones. I know I keep saying that, but I'm working on smaller ones that can fit on the drones. Eyeballs, mouths, just more smaller ones than my regular.
Maybe hydro flasks.
Yeah, well, my regular ones should fit on that.
Yeah, I gotta get a hydro flask to start cover it with drone stickers. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm working on for the DJI goggles some like zombie eyes. Like I thought that would be sort of cool.
Did you see somebody did Stormtrooper stuff for those?
No,
like
I
Darth
haven't.
Vader.
No,
They're freaking epic looking. Like Darth Vader. It's great.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. That sounds crazy.
It was over in like France. There's some site in France that had them. They got to be local too. They got to find them stateside.
Yeah. So how was your time there, Art?
I had a pretty good time, and like you, the wind was the big issue. Sunday, I wish I would have gotten to the inlet a little earlier. I could have gotten more fishing in, but I took my time. I went to a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant for breakfast, and boy, was it good. The place I went for dinner, the Chill and Grill, oh God, that was awesome. Sean, have you ever been to the Fresh Fish Company before it closed up?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, it is a really good seafood restaurant in southeast Denver. And the only time I would go is because on your birthday, your age is the discount.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I was there for my 60th birthday. And then the COVID hit like 2-3 months later, and that was it. It put them out of business.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it was. But I spent $45 on that dinner down there in Florida.
We went up on Sunday. Me and Ken took the families up to a hotel in Cocoa Beach and rented some surfboards from Ron Johns and went out, and there was a fin that popped up behind Ken, and luckily he didn't see it because I think he would have been walking on water. But I'm pretty sure it was a dolphin. He swears it was a shark, even though he didn't see it.
Now I saw a dolphin over there at the park where the
I wanted to
meetup
make
was.
sure that I at least caught one wave, shark or not. I was going to catch a damn wave. So, but yeah, that's what we did Sunday.
Okay.
We have radio silence. Radio.
I don't know.
Silence. Did Sean freeze?
I
think Sean froze up.
Oh, you did, Sean. You got. Oh.
My signal sucks here at the shop. Like I spent the extra money for the internet there at the house, and here at the shop
I see.
sucks. Is it? Am I back?
You are.
Yeah, you're
in and out, but you were good.
Max headroom.
He was good. Max Headroom. There's a blast from the past, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just had a couple minutes. I thought I'd jump in.
Well,
It's cool
thank
to
you
see
for
you, man.
jumping in. It
Yeah, for
was
sure.
awesome to see you there in Florida.
I'm sorry I wasn't.
Ed, your mic is
Oh,
off.
man. Ed's muted.
Ed's muted. And I
Mine's
didn't
muted?
do it.
I forgot I was muted.
Are you talking to
Well, I
yourself?
heard
Because
the
your mouth
echo.
was going and nothing was coming out. Kind of like the first, 10 or 15 minutes of my
I
show.
don't know if it was that long. Art. It
I
just felt like it to
heard
you.
the echo, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't me, so therefore I muted myself.
Ah, good man.
Ah, okay. good idea.
Troubleshooting.
Yeah, so Art, I'm gonna jump out of your live stream so I don't have to leave like quickly. But I'll jump in the
Okay.
chat for a second or two before I have to get back to work.
Awesome. Great to see
Appreciate
you.
having me.
Thanks for
It's
coming
always
in.
good to see you, man.
All right. Yeah.
Good, everybody.
Peace out, Sean.
Later.
All right. Take care. Hey, I want to say hello to Bob Casey. Bob Casey was down there as well. So it was great to
And
see
Bob
you, Bob.
Casey made a very cool wooden flag thingy for Jim at Above and Beyond Drone.
Right.
What?
And
That was
each of
awesome.
the stars of the flag, he had the end of a bullet casing in it. That was
Right.
very cool.
Yep,
Wow.
I love the
Yep.
way he did the stars.
that was cool. So now we're just waiting for James to pop in all the way from the Philippines.
He must have a big breakfast going this morning because he's. or
Well,
our
you gotta
evening is morning.
remember, they're not on. I think they're on daylight time since we went to daylight time. So now we're on an hour earlier where he's from.
Yeah, they don't do it, do they? Because like,
Mark here? Who's Mark? Mark Fisher.
yeah, he was on. Thought I
Yeah.
saw him on here.
No, I just saw. I'm just seeing the chat. Maybe my chat's behind.
That's was he M Drone or whatever? Isn't that Mark?
Oh,
No,
is that
I'm
who
screwing that up.
Mark Fisher, the guy that rescued the drone from the water.
I'm an idiot. Okay.
He went in that water. I told him, man, he was taking his shoes off. I'm like, I don't think you should take your shoes off. You're going to cut your feet because of the
Yeah.
barnacles and oysters in the water.
Yep.
He took them off anyway, and he didn't cut his feet. He cut his finger though, feeling around in the rocks probably, I guess, because all you got to do down there is swipe your finger the wrong way, and those
Slice it right
oysters
open, huh?
will cut you
Yep.
like a razor blade.
Jeez. Well, he's a good man for rescuing the drone. That's
Absolutely.
Hey,
above
we
and
got
beyond.
Robbie
man.
all the way from Belgium.
That's cool. Isn't it like is how far ahead is Belgium from us?
I think it's like
5 hours?
midnight over there, 1 o'clock.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's burning the. That's
It's probably 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't know. Their time change. They're having a time change too. I just don't know when it is.
I think it's
Yeah.
like now, isn't it? Isn't it tonight, or they just had it or something?
It could be.
Because like this
It's
is their
early morning,
Sunday
Sunday.
morning. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they might be doing it right now. But so Belgium, like those guys in England, they call it stupid o'clock. This is like stupid o'clock for them. So I wonder, like, if,
I like that
This is-
phrase.
this is what happens when you talk to those Brits on YouTube and stuff. Good dudes.
Well, I mean, like I guess I don't really know where Belgium is geographically. I know it's in Europe, obviously.
It's in
Well,
Western Europe. It's right across the channel from England.
Okay, well, one of the people I know in Europe is Roland,
Yeah,
and
he's from the same area.
and he's in the Netherlands.
That's the
and
country
he's
just
like
to the north of
6
Belgium.
He's
Art is
6
good with
hours
geography,
ahead.
dude. You're good with geography.
Yep, that was one of my. Now, if you ask me about Africa, well, I could probably do pretty good on Africa, but yeah, I'm pretty good at geography. Yep.
I mean, I was thinking Belgium was like in line with the Netherlands as far as east to west.
You can always cheat and pull up a map. We can cheat. We're allowed, Ed.
But you know what's weird though, Chuck, is that one thing I've noticed, like the countries in Europe are like kind of squeezed together. I mean, they're all
like
small.
states. They're like states, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah.
And some of them are small as hell states.
Yes.
Oh, they're
Yeah, I know,
like
it's crazy.
big cities. And it's like you drive outside the city. Hey, you're leaving Luxembourg.
Yeah, it's probably like driving
Liechtenstein.
around. Sorry, it's probably like driving around New England, where you're like, you can go from
Yep.
Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Massachusetts, to Maine in like an hour. If you drive it right, you can clip
That's
across
right.
the 3 states.
Oh, and the one thing about Europe, you go from one country to another, they're speaking a different language.
Yeah, that
would be
that's
tricky
challenging.
for me too.
That's
Yeah.
trippy for me too. I know, like when my wife and I go to Europe for the first time, hopefully this year, we're gonna start off with the UK because that's easy. at least it's broken English to us. We can someone make it trippy.
Broken English.
Well, wait until you get to Scotland or
Yeah,
That's
right.
where we're going. That's gonna be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
and you'll
Yeah,
be up there and you what?
Yeah,
What'd you
we've been practicing. We've been watching a lot of
Oh, okay.
you know, Men in Kilts. My wife likes that, and anything that has to do with being located in Scotland, we've been watching to get better with, because yeah, their dialect is quite tough, but it's still English, barely.
Well, I mean,
Well, go over to Ireland where they speak Gaelic,
Gaelic,
which
yes.
is like, oh, you'll have no idea what the hell
again,
it is.
it's like a lot of the people in Europe, they know how to speak English. But whether
yeah.
or not you'll be able to understand it or not is another matter.
I'll just be the dumb. I'll be the dumb American tourist. What?
I mean, you know, like one stream I go on a lot is RC Dude, you know, and he's in Scotland. He's Scottish, and he sounds like he's got a bunch of shit in his mouth when he talks English.
That's what they say about us in the South. It's like we have marbles in our mouths.
Hey, well, I'm not
Okay.
competing.
No. I mean, like, you know what I think is a really tough area of the country to understand, or when I used to watch NASCAR all the time, it was the dudes from Virginia, because like they have like, it's like a blend of New England and the South. So they have the Southern drawl with the freaking slanted R and everything. Like it's like, you know, oil.
Really?
They say oil, oil.
Oh,
So if you can understand the dudes from like Virginia, you can understand anybody.
God.
And I love dudes. I have a lot of friends in Virginia. They're all good people, but man, they talk strange to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, in the Philippines, they speak English over there as well, because you got to remember, for about 50 years, it was a territory of the United States. Yep. So they're the second largest English-speaking Asian country.
No
Next
way.
to India is the largest English-speaking country in Asia.
They still have a native tongue, though, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. The official language is Tagalog,
So
but it's
Tagalog?
mostly
Is that the
spoken
same
in
thing
the
as Filipino?
yeah.
Okay, that's just a
Well,
fancy
the
word for it.
Philippines has
the proper name, I
150
guess.
different.
What
Don't
art?
tell
Sorry.
me Filipinos considered racist or something.
Probably. I mean, like when I called the dudes in the UK Brits, that's probably like, you know, not good either. It's probably not good.
What I was going to say is
Tagalog.
it's not Tagalog, it's Tagalog.
Well, I'm just
Tagalog, like
Yeah,
like dialogue, but Tagalog.
yeah.
I don't know if I
It's
well,
3 syllables.
obviously, Robbie RC did not put in the proper pronunciation mark, so I would know how to say it.
Well, Robbie is married to a Filipina.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he knows.
He knows.
Well, that makes sense.
And
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was looking right through the chat. I didn't, and he put it in all caps too, which is
Yep.
that looks.
so
So,
he's yelling, Tagalog!
so where is Robbie now? Is he in Belgium?
I
or is he
believe he's in Belgium right now because I just saw a video that he was doing a collab where they were giving away a drone. Yep.
cool?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Phil's wife is also Filipino, right?
Yes, that's
I know you guys.
right.
He told me that. Like you guys have a lot in common.
So did you
And
go to the
lumpia,
Philippines?
you'll love lumpia. Lumpia is like egg rolls.
Ooh, I like egg rolls.
Yep.
What do they put in them? Not just eggs.
No, it's got cabbage, carrots. They've got a vegetable lumpia. They've got chicken lumpia. They've got shrimp
Shrimp?
lumpia.
Oh
Yep.
man, you say shrimp. You know I'm a sucker. We had the whole Bubba Gump thing earlier, but yeah, that's
Yeah, that's right.
that's one of the types of shrimp. Probably listed it.
Hey, I want to say hello to Stevie from the Bronx. He's captured Life Connection. It was great to see you there, Stevie.
Who's giving away a drone?
You know,
Oh, that would
there were
be
so
not
many
Robbie,
people.
but his friend. I can't remember the name of his channel. Robbie, if you want to, you can put the name of the channel in the chat, and they could go over there and try and win a drone. It's just a
Little dude?
yeah, about the size of a Tello. Yeah.
Oh, really? Tello size? I never flew a Tello. Did you guys
Oh,
ever
they're
fly a
fun.
Tello?
I have one I'm going to give away once I hit 1,500, which has been like forever.
Oh, you sound
Oh,
like Billy Kyle. It took him. You said it felt like forever to get to 100,000. It's like it. Hell, it's
Yeah.
true for all of us, right? Every time you get to a big number, it seems like you're like one away, and you're just like.
It took me forever to get 1,000, man, and once I got to 1420, it's kind of stayed right around there.
Yeah, same here. I'm at 1440.
Oh, really?
So I got to turn up
Yeah.
the heat and come up with a way to get interest to more people, right? You got to
Right.
branch out now.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm
Yep,
still only, I'm in 200s. I'm super small.
I got tired of chasing numbers, Chuck.
Well, you have, if it's not fun, it ain't worth doing. But I mean, right now
No.
I'm having fun doing it, but it would be nice to have more reach. So if I can still have a lot of fun creating and get more people into my channel, that would be sweet.
Look, man, I'll tell you, the title helps, and I'm not saying to be any expert on it. At
No,
all,
you're
by
right.
any
Marketing.
stretch of the imagination.
Marketing
but
matters.
hashtags work.
Yeah, hashtag and marketing and all that stuff. The thumbnails make a difference, and my thumbnails aren't the greatest. And
Yeah,
there's a whole
most
bunch
of my thumbnails are usually screenshots of part of my flight or something, and you can do a lot more to spice them up.
Yeah, I know, and a lot of guys spend a lot of time doing that, and then they're very.
I don't want to take the time. To me, it's all about the joy of flying and the flight experience, not about all the fancy stuff at the beginning, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm kind of like getting into the production side of it, though. I mean, I love flying, and that's.
I get that.
Yeah, but I got into drones because I used to be the guy that carried around the old Sony Hi8 camcorder, you know, and like
really?
all this stuff. So I was doing vlogs. I was doing vlogs before vlogs were a thing, like you were probably, Ed. So then to take it to the air with the drone just seemed like when the Mavic Pro came out, it was like, yeah, I could take that travel in and get shots from the air, and that'd be really super cool. Then it was like, now I want to make them so that they're like watchable. So then I started getting to the editing, and the editing is actually a lot of work, but it's super rewarding because you can really.
Oh, it is. I get that.
You can make them really polished, and yeah, my stuff's still really rough, but it's getting less. It's getting more polished. That's really cool. Like when you figure that out and get it to work. So, but you gotta want to do it though. And you're right, it takes a lot of time. It is. It's like 3 hours for 3 minutes.
It's like some of the videos I've seen that, you know, using drones, of course, and then they got this music, and then the scene will change with the music.
Yeah, that's a goal of mine
Yeah.
to do that. Yeah, I do that.
You know,
You go
and
with
that
the
is
yep.
very cool when you throw. Yeah,
Then
that's
you don't need
badass.
transitions. Then you don't need transitions because you just go clean cuts from scene to scene, like boom, boom, boom.
Well, I mean, there's kind of a transition, but it goes with the music.
Yeah, and that you can do.
Blends in right when that moment in the music happens. And it's pretty badass.
It's badass. It just that's with good editing software. That's not as horrible as it sounds to do. It's possible.
You know what? What's funny though is there's been a few I've done where it was pretty much by accident.
Yeah.
And I just had to, but then I realized, oh wait, if I shift the audio track just a hair this way, it'll be even more perfect, you know.
Yeah, there you go. So you're doing it. You're doing it.
Yep.
To a limited extent, not like some of these guys do.
Oh, dude, that's just where you start. You do that a couple of times, you're like, yeah, it's always got to be this way. Then it's like, no, that was okay, but now that sucks to what I can do this time, so I got to be better. It's like continuous.
I need a better computer first, man. That poor old Carly Special is about.
Oh, you're working her hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the K-Spot laughs at mine. He's like, Chuck's got a. He says my computer's more powerful than his company's server, and he's laughing at me.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm bitching how slow it is, and he's like, dude, that thing's not slow. What are you complaining about? I built it because of the stupid Mavic 2 Pro. I bought a Mavic 2 Pro, and I couldn't do any editing on the 265 files because they were too intense. So then I overbuilt the next machine. I built my tower. I overbuilt it because I was so mad that I was like, this ain't happening again for at least 5 years. This next computer is good for 5. So yeah, it's insane.
Well, with my machine, I could go up to, I'm a 1700X. I could go as far as 5th generation on this.
5th gen?
Yeah. The Verizon, I could go to, like the 3000 series and the 5000. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with those.
Yeah.
You know, Bill, coast to coast, I don't know, and that's what I'm using, and I don't know when I render my shit, and I just decided to do the.
Oh, yeah, HVAC. Bill, I think he's talking about H265 is HVAC, I think, isn't it, Bill? Yes, no.
Well, the 264.
Yeah, the 10-bit color.
A lot less than the 265. Though.
Yeah, well, it's more compressed. So yeah, like Bill's talking about HVAC, that's more compressed. It takes up less space. The files are smaller, but then the computer has to go and stretch them all out again, and takes all the processing power to do that. And when you're editing, the editing software has to use the hell out of the computer to work with that crap too. But
yeah, I just upgraded to Filmora 10, and it uses proxies, so it really
help a lot. Yeah, they'll help a lot. I mean, it looks really a little grainier. It's only just because it's a little grainier when you're working on it, but at least things are fluid. So like the thing Ed was struggling with getting the music synced where he wanted to be with his cuts and the clips. If you don't have nice smooth footage to watch, you can't get those cuts clean. You'll miss. It's like having frames drop when you're playing a video game or something.
Right.
But Bill's kind of right, except I'm kind of more of a purist. I want to use the 4K HEVC. I want to use all those pixels in the 10-bit color and color grade and all that stuff. And even if I still suck at it, I'm still gonna at least try to make it good.
Right.
But yeah, I get what he's saying though.
The new version software, what I like about it is, I do my intro. I say, welcome to ArtCo Drone Solutions. And I have my intro that, by the way, Bill made for me.
Oh, Bill made that for you? That's cool. You know where it flips open it kind of like opens up like a flower? Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like that.
And so what I do is I do a cut, and I can insert that in there where before, with the earlier version, if I put it in and I don't do anything else, it'll stay there. Where with the new version, the other footage will snap right on to the end of the intro. So it makes it easier to work with.
So it has I think that's a magnetic timeline when you bring the pieces and they kind of snap together. Magnetic timeline. Yeah, you can enable and disable it on DaVinci.
Oh, and it makes cutting a lot faster. Where I could go, because my videos are famous for long pregnant pauses. So what I'll do is
I used to do that too.
I'll do a cut.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll watch it, and then when it starts moving, that's when I back it up just a smidge,
and snip,
cut there, delete it, and then it'll stitch right to it. Where the old one, I had to physically move that segment back.
Yeah. That's cool. Fillmore does it automatic. Fillmore does it automatically now. Yeah, because like that's what DaVinci does too. When you have the magnetic timeline enabled, you'll make the cutout, and the pieces will just glue together.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's a cool feature.
And what I do is when I upload it to YouTube, is I'll upload it not listed, and then I will set it up as a premiere the following day. Then everybody gets the notification saying, "Oh, there's ArtCo has a premiere coming."
Those are fun. I just started doing premieres, and they're fun because you get the if as long as you schedule it when you could be there. If you're not there, it's kind of a dick move. But if you're there, it's cool because people get to comment on it when you're watching. You get to talk about it before. There's a little chatter. Right. And there's like a build up. And it's fun.
Plus, for me being monetized, people will.
You get super chats. Yeah, I'm not there yet. But it's still fun. It's fun to talk to everybody about the video while it's going on and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's what I only did a premiere once, and it irritated me because people came to it and they typed in the chat, but then on the replay, the chat wasn't there and it wasn't available, and that irritated me. And so I never tried it again.
Oh, it should be there. I mean, like, you mean a premiere did that to you?
Yeah, but I probably didn't do something right because
you have to enable. You have to enable it in playback.
To your schedule, you could see previous shows, and it might be in there, because what it does is after the premiere is over, it turns into a regular YouTube file.
And you can still play the chat stream, though. My wife's done it. You guys, my wife, because my wife, she figures out all this stuff. She's like, she was watching one of mine, and she goes up, and she's look, you click here, watch, view chat. And then it's like, and the whole chat thing scrolling down, the former live chat from, it's there.
You go.
It should be there.
And Chuck, that might have been there. I just didn't know to hit that damn button to show the chat.
No, I didn't either. She found it. It's like, I'm supposed to be the YouTube guy, and there it was. She's like, look, it's right here. Okay.
All right. Well, hey, I gotta run. It was great.
All right, Ed. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Ed, man.
It was great meeting you, Ed.
So y'all have a good night. Talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Take care, Ed.
All right, now we got enough room for James when he shows up finally.
Wow,
and he can tell us about his new roof they put in.
He had a lot of stuff going on. Did you see he had like the flashing that matches the roof and everything? And they were getting sculpted and cut out.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's some pretty deep. I was thinking they said, they could do it. I'm thinking, what did that cost? Because they have to cut out each one, so to match the scalloping of the roof.
Right.
It seems like it's kind of labor intensive.
Labor is not that expensive in the Philippines.
Okay, so it's not like New York City or something where you have to pay like union rates and like like $100 an hour.
That's true.
And the guy's gonna make sure he only makes like 2 cuts an hour, and he's make like 1,000. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but yeah. That's good, because that's the first thing I was thinking. Was like, man, there's a lot of labor there. It's got to be spendy. Yeah. But it's a detail that James is really into detail, right? So I know that was something that when he mentioned that, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna do that. There's no way he's gonna say no to that. So
Oh, did you see the drone footage
Hmm.
where they were harvesting the coconuts for buko?
was that later
You
in the
don't know
video
what
because my
buko is?
ADD
That's
kicked
where
in?
that's
He's
coconut.
probably laughing as he's watching me say this right now. He knows my ADD kicked in, and I was like, yeah, I'll get back to that later. I haven't gotten back to it yet. I get on those videos, like quick like, and then I'll watch a bit of it, and like he's really is fun to watch, but I just like I'm turning red. I'm getting nervous or whatever because I feel bad. Look, I'm turning red. Oh, that's funny.
Well, I am red
I do get
because
through
I
them
got
eventually.
sunburn.
Yeah, I don't have that excuse.
And
Oh,
then
like
he
he's-
did a nighttime video. You can see the new lights they put in, and boy, it looked great.
Is he flying a Mavic
And-
2 Pro? What? I forgot to ask what James is flying.
Fan
Excuse me.
4 Pro.
A 4 Pro.
Yep,
So that is like the mechanical shutter. Is that the advanced that had that?
I think so. And that has the
A 1-inch sensor.
It's got the built-in monitor to the controller.
Does it have a 1-inch sensor? Did the Pro have the 1-inch sensor? Or was it just the advanced?
I think.
Maybe it was. The
I don't
Pro.
know. You'll have to ask.
Yeah, I gotta ask him because that would make a big difference for the night shots.
Right.
Maybe I'll light in. What are you flying, Art? Right now?
Air
like
2.
the Air 2.
Yep. That's what I brought with me to Florida. Yep.
Keith has one of those. He loves it. Except he's really mad at DJI because the Air 2S is coming out, and he feels like he got kind of jilted because
Oh, come on.
He just got
what? It's got more sensors. Big whoop.
that's it, right? I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Is the camera any better?
If the camera's
heard
not
that-
any better, then it's no big
No,
deal.
it's still the
because-
same camera.
Is that what I'm saying? The camera. What's Bill saying?
Bill says
He thinks it's a 1-inch. I think. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
P4P
think
is a
you're
1-inch. Yeah. Bill knows his stuff. I've never followed the
Hey,
fans close. What was that? Oh, Hollis.
there's
Yeah,
Cleve.
dude.
Hey, Cleve, good to see you.
Yeah, the 3 is coming. Sure. Yep, it is. That's going to be the one that's going to try to take money out of my pocket. It's going to be the Mavic 3. They're going to try. DJI always gets my money. I say I'm not going to do it. I said I wasn't going to buy the FPV drone too. Right up until the release day. I'm like, I'm not buying that stupid thing. It's cool. I know what it's for. I'm not buying it. Yeah, I bought it. Same day.
Oh, the S has a 64 megapixel camera instead of 48. Oh, interesting.
I wonder if you could remove the existing camera and bolt that one on. If it's actually mostly the same frame, I wonder. Imagine that.
Yeah, but will the main board handle it though?
Yeah, I don't know. You mean you think there's
probably won't.
not enough processing power?
Yeah, it's probably
yeah. Actually, I think
Probably-
that's. Yeah, you're right. It probably doesn't have enough horsepower to manage it, and that's what's going to get people like me to go from a Mavic 2 Pro to a Mavic 3 because it might still have a 1-inch sensor on the next one, but it'll be
Yeah.
with a bigger processor
And-
that can handle the.
They use
8K or
a special
something.
word in electronics. It's called proprietary.
Proprietary. Yes.
Yeah.
Proprietary. Yeah, that's for give us your money. Yeah, secret. Well, that was the thing.
Yeah.
People were mad about the Mavic 2 Pro. It had the 1-inch sensor, but it was all line. What do they call that? Line cutting or line tracing? What the hell was it? Where it was like basically line skipping something, cutting corners. Yeah, I know. He's right. FlyZone's right. That's what they're gonna because this is gonna be. They know what we have. They know what we want, and they'll give it to us if we pay for it.
Oh, okay. That's
Bill, man, he's bringing it out tonight.
yep. That's right up there with AK.
The thing is, though, if it's 8K video,
yeah,
talk about needing a bigger computer to manage that stuff.
yeah.
Jeez.
Well, and Ken Heron, he's got that Evo 2, and that's a 6K, his camera. So he's got to edit it down to 4K so it'll work on YouTube. And then I guess YouTube just, kind of does its thing, and it works out okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, 4K is kind of crazy overkill. I like it for the extra pixels so you can crop. But really, is that what you're going to do? Say you have 6K footage, you're not going to see the difference in the picture quality. It's more about having the ability to bring it in and crop and not have it look crappy.
Right.
You have enough pixels that you can cut everything back. With that much, man, if you have a 6K or 8K, you could actually use, you don't even need a gimbal anymore. Now you could just have the digital, instead of the Spark had where it just cropped in the picture so that anything moving outside the frame wasn't seen as moving.
Oh,
like Rocksteady. Rocksteady works like that on the Action, where it just crops in a little bit. You lose some pixels, but it hides the movement because it's still within your frame.
Oh, okay.
You know
he says it'll be a refresh more than an upgrade. I see.
Yeah, Hasselblad. DJI bought Hasselblad for the name.
That's right.
So I would imagine it will say it on it because they own it.
Yep.
Just marketing.
Yep.
But the sensor is still a Sony sensor, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a Hasselblad camera, I think the sensor is still typical Sony sensor.
Yep.
It's all a name. It's marketing.
Yeah, it is.
It's proprietary.
Well, back when I was doing a regular film camera, I thought, oh God, I want a Hasselblad. Oh, that's a medium format film. Oh boy, just think of how sharp the pictures will be with that. But it was like a $3,000 camera, and that was back in the 70s and 80s.
Holy crap, Art! That's like $10,000. Seriously, now.
Yep. But the Soviets, they had their version of the Hasselblad. It's called the Soyuz. And I mean, it looks almost exactly like a Hasselblad.
Or like the Apollo?
Yeah.
You said Soyuz.
But that
Apollo
was the name
Soyuz.
of the camera company.
Really? Soyuz was the camera company?
Yeah.
I never heard of that one.
And then the other Soviet camera company was Zenit. I think Zenit, because they also made another medium format camera that looked kind of like a 35 millimeter camera.
I had no idea that there was good photographic gear coming from the Soviet Union or Russia or whatever they were called at the time.
Yeah.
USSR.
Yep. Soviet Union. Now it's called
Soviet
the
Union.
Russian Federation.
The Russian Federation. That's right. They keep changing the name to confuse us. Like DJI is doing that with their stuff too to confuse us. It's not the Mavic Mini. It's the Mini 2. It's not the Osmo Pocket. It's just Pocket 2. And then keep the cosmic this one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Pocket 2 camera is a smidge bigger than the half-inch sensor on the Air 2 at the moment. I think that's what Bill's alluding to.
Okay.
Is that what you're alluding to, Bill?
Yep.
Yeah, the Pocket 2 it's just over a half-inch sensor. You're right.
It's rebranded.
It is. It is.
Yep.
They knew their names were getting too long, and we Americans are lazy and don't want to say them, so they're cutting them short.
Yep.
That's why you don't say Kentucky Fried Chicken now. It's KFC. It's easier.
Yes.
Gotta keep it short.
Or if you're Adrian, you say Maverick instead of Mavic.
It happens. Or how about Mavic Pro 2?
Yeah.
Is that a Mavic 2 Pro? See, that's actually, that is stuff that they need to change because it does it's not intuitive always.
Hey, let's say hello to Alex all the way from Greece.
Well, all right. There's a nice place to fly.
Yeah.
I have seen some. I'll bet you Alex has some pretty epic stuff on there on his channel. His thumbnail looks pretty good. The colors in there look really good. We talked about that last time.
Yep. Hey, speaking of the devil, let's welcome all the way from Lipa City, Philippines. It's James, my PI Dream.
We have 5 minutes, James.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Hey,
How you
you're
doing?
not in the basement today.
I'm not in the basement. So I wasn't even going to come on today. I was just going to enjoy you guys. I'm like, it's a beautiful Sunday morning. I was enjoying your I was enjoying your show when you got your audio on this morning. I see it took you a little while to.
Thank you.
Little bit of some technical difficulties going on there, and I kept wanting so bad to say, but everybody else was saying, Art, no audio. You have no audio. You have no audio. And I wanted to, and I said, I'm not going to get on the train. Everybody else is doing it.
I was on the wrong damn channel. I had the other stream on.
I did too. I had the other stream
I'm like,
on.
where is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
And then I was rescued.
Yeah, what happened there, Art? What's up with that? You sent out a link for another stream, or you had your default thing. You've had it up for a week. You've had this thing up for a week for everybody waiting.
It happens in threes, James. It happens in threes. So it happened to Ken Heron, then it happened to Ken Dono, and then it had to happen to Art. He was number 3, I think. Is that right? It's the third one.
It could be.
That's all. It's just going. It's working through its cycle. We're all good now.
Yep.
Technology is great when it works. I always say that a million times.
Well, you made me feel guilty. You put the guilt trip on me this morning, so I'm like,
we meant to do that.
And I was like, oh, I am gonna just spend a Sunday morning relaxing, watching my favorite Sunday morning vlog go on here, and I'm just gonna sit back and do that. And then you kept doing
We're poking him.
Oh, and James is gonna come in, and James is gonna come in later. We'll wait for. He's probably eating it. Well, you're no help, Chuck. You're doing the same thing.
I know. I told him before the stream. I was chatting with Art, and I'm like, God, I'm really looking forward to this show. I think James must be too. We miss you. I was like, where the hell is he?
Where the hell down in sunny Florida. Yeah.
Well, I missed. Speaking of that, I kind of missed because I looked. You posted a video that said you were in this event, something about it, and I said, "Well, I want to watch this big event that you've been building up and building up and building up." And I watched it. It was like 4 you guys. I saw Mitch was there, and you, and a couple, maybe 2 or 3, maybe there's like about 5 people. And I said, "Is this the big event?" But I didn't get a link.
No, that was the day before the big event.
Well, I haven't seen yet. Did you video? Did you do a video?
No, I didn't, but several other the folks that were there did videos of that.
Okay, well, I follow you. I follow you and Chuck. If you guys ever post anything, I always try to check out yours.
Okay.
So I didn't see that. So send me the link later on. Just send me to my email or something.
All right, we'll do.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I watched it either. James, I got in trouble. Did you hear me admit that I got in trouble? My ADD kicked in. I didn't watch the whole roof thing. I got to pass the part where you were cutting the flashing to fit the shingles, the scalloping, and then I started the drift.
I know. Yeah. Well, there wasn't
so weak.
It wasn't a long one, man. That was all of those were under 30 minutes. I kept them all under 30 minutes.
You're fine. It's not you. It's me. It's me. I tell this, like Keith says the same thing. I'm like, dude, it's not you, man. It's me. Okay. So I got to come back. And then if I get back to it, if I'm not editing or something, I'll get back to it. But it's like
I'm right there. I am right there with you, Chuck. For me to watch my own episodes, because I do it sometimes for editing. And it's one of those kind of things. Yeah, it reminds. Well, no, it's
a million times.
Kind of. It's like a lullaby to me sometimes. It's like, at nighttime what I do is I said, Alexa, play white noise, right? And I go to sleep and I have white noise. It sounds kind of like rain dropping. And I think my own voice to myself, and obviously to you too, when you hear that, it's like,
yeah.
The eyes start going, and the mouth opens up and but that's what it happens to me too. So I forgive you. It's no problem.
I'm sorry, man. I always make sure I get the like in before my eyes roll in the back of my head, though. I get the like in and
I need to put a hashtag inside.
You can always tell when I watched. You can always tell when I watch the whole damn thing though, because I'll make sure that I note something in the comments about the end of the video, because I want to make sure that you knew I saw the whole damn thing, and I didn't cheat and scroll the end. I watched the whole thing.
Thanks.
Anyway.
I need to put in the hashtag. I need to put something about for insomniacs. This is the show for you. You want to watch this right here?
Every now and again, you can have some kind of. We need to build like a shock. I need an app that like shocks me like halfway through the video or something. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I want to say hello to Johnny Drone Flyer. He was one of the guys at the event, and Michael Wright. He's Tech's ARC drone guy. He was also at the event. It was great seeing you too.
I'm surprised.
I see Fly Zone Drone a little bit earlier. Quadcopters, but James looks like a rocket dude in a rock band. I tell you, the hair is just going crazy. I get these comments all the time on the channel, and I laughed so hard yesterday. It was yesterday, or the day before, and somebody put a comment inside there, and they said, "Oh, James, I'm so glad you got a haircut." And what I had done, I'd taken my hair and I put it in a bun.
Put it in a bun.
I put it in the bun because it looks so nice and clean and flat. And maybe I just got out of the pool or something like that. I don't know. And I told him, I said, sorry, but my hair was tied up in the back inside there. But I told the wife I wanted to get a haircut. I wanted to do a buzz cut all the way off.
No, you don't.
Oh, and she got so angry at me. She said, worry. She's been waiting for you so long for you to.
Your hair's so nice. Don't cut it off. I can. Right.
Right. Well, we used to be in a performing band. I told you about that over in South Korea and in South Carolina. And when we did that, my hair was actually longer than hers. It went down halfway down the back of my back, and I had it in a ponytail back there. And she says, "I want you to go back to those days. I want you to look like that again." That's nice. I always talk about that period in between when it's the short and where you can get it all inside that thing.
It's the unruly period.
Miserable. Oh, it's so miserable. Because right now I can actually get a bunch of it back into a bun, but the front part from here where it goes back is not long enough to get into that yet.
Yeah.
So it's just like it just flies in your face and everything all the time. It's just so miserable. And the Philippines is just so hot and so humid here.
Yeah. That's why the mullet thing was so good here in the States back in like the 80s and the 90s. I wore my mullet with pride, man. My wife, then girlfriend, I remember when I cut it off, she's like, "You cut them all, you had the nice curls and everything." Blah, blah,
dude.
blah.
Chuck, you gotta quit this. My wife, that. My wife.
She liked the hair long.
My wife. No, my wife is killing me. Chuck always talks about you. See, she always talks so nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. And every time I get in trouble. I don't
want to get you in trouble.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
She's totally supportive of this crazy addiction I have, so it's good.
Yeah.
She's on my side, thank God. Because.
And I tell Ness, I said, I always say my wife this, my wife that.
But I saw her waving in the video. It was awesome. Yeah. She was like during the intro. You had her. She's waving in the back.
She's lurking. She's always lurking.
But that was somewhere. Cool. I thought you did that on purpose. She's way set back in the shot. There she is. It was cool. I was like, hey, there she is. She's waving. That's awesome.
Sometimes I say, Ness, I'm getting ready to do the opening for today's episode. So, because she'll put some news on inside the house, or she'll have some music playing on. I don't want to get any copyright strikes. So she'll mute it so she sees me when I walk out there. And usually, lately, my opening is I'm walking down the back porch going into the backyard. And that leaves that little lanai patio area in the back of the guest room. That leaves that open. That's where she works in the morning a lot of times. So I think sometimes she's
there. She was.
There she is. But it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad.
I think that's really cool. I liked her. It's cool she was in there.
And she wanted to talk this morning so much when you guys were talking about Tagalog, and your guest was saying, is that the same as Filipino? Oh, is that offensive?
Yeah.
Would that be offensive or racist or anything like that? But no,
derogatory. I think I couldn't think of the word, but it'd be like derogatory.
No, it's actually not, because even if you look on like Wiki, or if you look on Google for Google translations inside there, sometimes if you put Tagalog to English, it'll say Philippine. It'll use the word Filipino. But it's all about dialects. Tagalog Tagalog is like the general term that they have here, but like if you go down to Visaya, they have the people in Cebu, they have their own dialect. If you go down to Mindanao,
Cebuano.
yeah, they have theirs. They have their up here. Mostly everybody in Luzon on the north up here is Tagalog, is what they speak up here.
Right.
So
but
can you
there's
still
so
understand
many.
it? Can you still understand it? Is it kind of like when you drift across the United States and like people have like we were kidding about? I was kidding about how it's hard to
not
understand
really.
like people in Virginia and stuff.
Not really. If you have family members that live in different parts, the family members up here will say, "I don't understand anything that they say down there." It is so
significantly different.
Significantly different. Yeah, the words are different. The words that they use inside there are different.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
because
weird,
sometimes
it's the same. How did that happen? Because it's like the same.
Well, you got to realize
geographically divided that they kind of
big. You got to think a bit before there was airplanes and ferries and all this kind of stuff. You got to realize
they were divided.
Are three huge islands. All right, three huge islands. The Philippines makes up over like 7,000 islands, but the three huge divided by a large mass of water in between each one of those.
Oh, that explains it. That explains
so
it.
You got to, it's just isolation.
They each had their own. They built their own language, and then they just.
It's like saying, why does Japan speak Japanese and China speak Chinese? Because
I mean they're divided, and they just developed on their own.
That water mass between China and Japan is about as big as the water mass between each one of the big islands here in the Philippines. So so they were isolated geographically, and it just the small boats back in the day. They didn't have these big, huge things for them to be traveling back and forth from island to island. So they developed their own dialect in each one of the islands.
It's kind of mind blowing that the entire world, like humans, we all developed our own. About the same time, it's all different, but everybody came up with a way to communicate, verbally communicate, and it's all different depending on where you were, or what I mean. It's mind blowing to me.
I got to tell you though, I think we're probably most of the most fortunate, the English speaking countries, the UK bringing it over to the United States, and we adopted the English language.
We stole it. We left Britain and came over here.
We were literally this close from speaking German in the U.S. This close. It actually came down when they were voting on it. We were like almost 1 or 2 votes, or so. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was something to determine whether we were going to have German speaking country was going to be our primary language or English. But we're lucky. We're really fortunate because the most spoken language around the world is English, and it makes it really easy.
Oh, Steve, Bill keeps it real.
Yeah, my wife speaks Tagalog, and she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand the other. It's amazing because my wife, she's so smart, and she learns all these other languages. She can speak, and she picks up languages so very fast. She spent 15 years in Japan, and she mastered Japanese. When we were in Korea, she started picking up the Korean. And I will tell you, I think out of all the Asian languages, I think Korean is probably one of the hardest languages to try to learn and understand over here. It was so very difficult. And they use the characters, the different types of characters. Although out of all of the alphabets that they use in the Asian area, I think the Korean's the easiest one. If you want to learn how to read a Asian language, I think Korean is very easy because they changed from, it used to be like the Chinese characters where there's like thousands of characters and they look like a little painting up there, and you interpret each one of the characters that mean they have some type of meaning inside there. The Koreans, the South Koreans, and I think the North Koreans also, at a point back in, I don't know, late 1800s or early 1900s, they changed the whole character system. And it's still, for us, it's not the ABCs. It's the type of characters that they have, and they have sounds, but there's a small amount. Yeah.
Sound angry. There's 10 toes.
but there's a certain amount. Like we only have what was it 26 characters in the alphabet?
Yeah, 26 letters.
And I think the Korean, it's somewhere close to that. The number is very close to that. There's only a certain amount that they have inside there. But I was actually able to pick that up pretty fast when I was over there. But Japanese with the kanji and all the different weird things, which I think that was derived from the Chinese, all the Chinese characters and stuff like that. But there's lots of them. But Ness she can read, because it seems like everything was derived from the Chinese characters and the language.
Cantonese or whatever, it all kind of evolved from that.
Well, I don't know if it was called Cantonese, but the thing is, Ness can go to pretty much any Asian country where they have things, symbols on the wall, decorations, and anything like that.
She can figure it out.
That signifies, she can say, "Oh, this means this. Oh, this is a steak restaurant, or this is a fish restaurant, or this is She can figure all that stuff out. So
cool.
That stuff is still strong.
Well, anybody who can learn English who's not American or British or whatever amazes me, because our language is just a disaster to learn with all the rules and crap. So then when somebody, like when I was down on a business trip in Mexico, and I don't speak Spanish really well. I took 2 years of it in like middle school, and like they're not going to feel sorry for me, because I'm thinking your language is a piece of cake compared to mine. I'm just a dumb American. I can't figure it out.
Well,
and they're speaking English almost better than I do. It's just their accent's heavy, but they speak it better than I do in some cases.
Well, I rationalize, and I kind of use it as an excuse, an excuse, and it's probably because everything has to do with how much time you invest in how good you are in anything. But I kind of use the excuse, and it's kind of proven scientific in the scientific community that our brains have specific areas that target certain things, like people who are more into the arts. There's an area that they're a little bit more developed than people who might know mathematics, than all these different areas.
Left versus right brained and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And for me, I think where I excel is in more things that have to do with technology, techie type of stuff, and logic.
You're a lefty.
Logic. But I am not. When it comes to languages, it's just I am horrible in languages. I actually, when I first went into the military, I was supposed to be a linguist. That was what I signed up for. When you go down, well, maybe, I don't know if you've ever gone down to, you signed up and swore, and then you go inside and they'll say, "Oh, what job do you want?" And you take all these tests and all this kind of stuff. Well, you see what they have available. They'll give you a list of jobs that they need to fill. Well, one of the things that they needed to fill when I went down to the station was cryptolinguist. And I'm like, oh, this sounds cool. Cryptolinguist.
Cryptolinguist sounds impressive.
Yeah, cryptolinguist. So I took the test, and what they do is they give you a language. It's not a language. It's basically to see if you can take something that's abstract, but it's defined. It's a defined abstract language that nobody knows, and you can make sense of it and be able to construct language and understand and reading, listening, and speaking. And I took this test, and I think I passed it by like 1 percentage point or something like that. So so this is what the guy told me, and I kind of read the writing on the wall, and so he said, let me tell you, he says, you passed the test,
but
he says but we're going to make an offer. We're going to make an offer to you. He said the school that you go, which was in Monterey, California. That's where the linguist.
Well, it's a pretty area.
Oh, it's a beautiful area.
Yeah,
that's where I was supposed to go. He said,
but it's awesome there.
He said, but the school is back. It was packed, and at the time, the language that I was supposed to go in was Russian. That was the language that they selected me for. Was Russian. That's what they needed. That was in during. That was 1981, and that was when there was a lot of emphasis on having Russian-speaking linguists at the time.
Privyet.
Yeah, so
Drug.
Everything is English backwards. Isn't Russian English backwards? sounds like I'm playing on English. It
sounds like the White Album. The White Album. Paul must
Paul
die.
is dead. Paul is dead.
Yeah. So anyway,
cocktail, Cara show is thank you, and I know cocktail and what are the other ones? Tuvalish James, which means Comrade James.
Comrade. Just say comrade. It sounds badass. Comrade.
Yeah. Sounds like the old movies. The old Cold War movies. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, you need to let me finish this because you know where it'll go if I don't. So anyway,
yes, we do.
So they made me an offer. And
I'm sorry.
I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. So and they made me a great offer that this, because the school was going to be like 6 weeks. I would go what was called casual staff. So I would have had to sit in a barracks for like 6 weeks cleaning floors and stuff like that. And they said, well, if you want to pick something else, and if they have an opening inside that, then we'll get you over. So what I wanted to say, I really love technical. So I ended up going into a career field called NDT. It's known as NDT or NDI, non-destructive inspection,
non-destructive investigation
technology.
Yeah, nuclear power plants use that.
Well, they do, but it's for inspections. You look for cracks.
Yeah, for piping and cracks and stuff.
Piping, cracks, ultrasonic.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool
radiography,
stuff.
Radiography.
Super cool stuff.
Spectrometric, all analysis, all these dyes and penetrants.
That's badass stuff.
It was my building blocks although I never used it after I got done with that because I retrained. I retrained after 5 years doing that. And that's another story we won't tell today because you've already kind of exhausted time on this.
I was like digging the NDI. I was digging the NDI stuff because my dad used to work at the power plant, the nuclear plant up here in New York, upstate. And he was telling me about how they discovered how the contract, they were building 9 Mile Point 2 after 3 Mile Island and stuff. And he was telling me how the contractor got busted because they were putting pipe restraints in, right? And they didn't get full penetration on the studs that held the snubbers.
You said two words I like.
And you are a dirty man. I like
penetration.
You. I know he loves that word.
And studs.
But no, really, they used NDI to discover that they didn't have the depth that they were supposed to have.
Yeah, I think Robbie said something. He said they use NDI in the Air Force. Well, that's what it was. I was NDI in the Air
cool
Force.
Stuff. We don't have to cut it apart to find it. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was stationed for 5 years at Columbus Air Force Base in lovely Columbus, Mississippi.
We put Fly Zone to sleep. Sorry.
Good night, Fly Zone.
Yeah, good night, man.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
I worked at 5 years in Columbus Air Force Base in Mississippi, and I was the only one. I was the only NDI technician in the history there to have found a crack in the critical wing root radius on a T-38 aircraft inside there, and and the wing root radius is you have. Let's say this is the body, and then the wing goes out this way.
Right
in the very corner in the back.
There's a stress concentration right there.
There's a stress concentration right there. You cannot even have something that's so many microns of a crack inside there for so long. And because
it'll propagate and it'll fail.
So if you get that small thing is the beginning of a huge thing, which causes a catastrophic failure.
Correct.
Basically, a wing ripping off.
It's exactly what I envisioned. Yep, which is not something anybody wants to experience when you're at altitude.
And
kind of like the cowling that blew off of that 777 over here in Denver a month ago.
What about the one remember Hawaiian Airlines had the one where the fuselage had because they explained it later that it's basically I segued. I'm sorry, James. I tangentially segued. I didn't mean to
squirrel.
Yet. It's okay.
Yeah, squirrel. But the fuselage blows up like a balloon every time. Then blows up like a balloon every time they pressurize the cabin. And apparently that caused a stress that caused stress failure on the top of the fuselage, and that's why it blew off the top of the aircraft. And that's what I think only one or two. It's still horrible, but one or two people were lost.
Yeah, it was the stewardess.
Oh, that's awful. It gets sucked out. But
it wrecked her hair.
Well, we don't have time to we don't really have time to talk about this today, but another time when I can get in a little bit earlier because it's a really the NDI NDT technology. They call it a discipline. Each one of them: penetrance, ultrasonics, magnetic particle, spectrometrical, and all.
I cut you off on your explanation of how you found that really tough stress concentration to identify right at where the wing meets the fuselage.
Well,
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Well, for that specific to look there, the methodology that they use for that. There's two things that they use. They start out with something that's called eddy currents, and again, we don't have enough time to talk about that. But I found an indication using, and it's very similar to magnetism, but it has to do with forces on both sides.
But you see the distortion in the waves because there's
a deflection.
There's a crack there. Yeah.
It's like the old VU meter. You'll see something like that.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about those. Were fun.
So anyway, that they had never found. They knew it was critical to look in that area, but on the airbase that I worked at, nobody in the history of doing NDI there had ever found one inside there. But it had been found, not maybe Shepherd or one of the other T-38 air bases, but it had never been found at Columbus. So I got the indication, and then the secondary method to back up your first indication has to do with penetrance, dye penetrance. And then I found the indication on that one. And so what they ended up doing, they ended up trashing the entire aircraft based upon when I say the whole aircraft, they had to remove the entire wing assembly. They had to remove that. Yeah. What they did is they removed the entire wing assembly. They put it on the back of I think it was a 130 or 141 cargo aircraft. They sent it out to Shepherd
for analysis.
And they did it. They did with the big boys. We were just a little guy, and they went out there and they said, "Yeah, the guy found. It's a good thing that because that he found this right here. They validated it was found." And because again, if
every time you're flying, it's always loaded up, it's stressed.
Yeah, the guy does a high G maneuver or something like that. Then that part of the wing flops off, and a T-38 is nothing but a rocket. That's all it is. Yep. If you've ever seen, it has no aerodynamics that it can glide in like a T-37 trainer or some of the.
It's got really thin wings.
So without any, without
half the wing
wings,
inside
it's screwed. It's going down.
So I felt really good.
That's an awesome save, man. That's like
cool.
We'll talk if you want to on other, because we talk about a little bit of everything on the show right here. We talk about technologies.
It's weird.
Like I heard you talking about earlier about the difference of the editing, they're doing the editing software and things. I wanted to jump in. I wanted to jump into that, but
yeah, well, you're a good editor, right, James? I can tell you spend a lot of time editing. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind.
Well, not as much. I got to tell you, I'm still in the infancy. I do take my editing seriously. Because I just want to make sure the cuts are right. I want to make sure that everything is synced up. I want to make sure everything is nice and smooth, not like the people do with and there's nothing wrong with it, with their cell phone, and they do the choppiness. And
that bothers me too. It's a pet peeve of mine to not do that, and to make sure I don't want dead space either. I want things to be moving. I don't want to have like the drone taking off from the ground. I want to have the drone in a fluid motion and everything.
It's getting better. It's getting better on my channel. If you go back to episode 1 and start looking,
we're all like that though, James. I mean, like you look at any one of our things, anybody in the chat right now. You look at the first stuff somebody does, and then watch, and chances are you're going to see improvement along the way. And I mean, I can see it in mine. I look at something I thought was great like a year ago, and I look at it and I was like, cringe. It's like, ooh, what's I thinking?
And listen to your subscribers, because at the very beginning, I had so many people that gave me some really great tips from the very beginning about camera angles. One of them that was one of the best tips that I had at the very beginning. I would be walking, and I had my camera pointing in front of me, like first person viewing or whatever they call that. And one guy said to me, "Well, why don't you turn around? You talk to the camera, but you're walking kind of backwards. It's kind of dangerous on an open street." He said, "But it'll
look cool."
It'll
More
not only
natural?
look cool, it'll make more sense. Or just put it kind of behind you and more. So we're seeing what you're seeing with your head. And everything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I tried all of that, and it actually looked better. So that was an improvement, and I like the way they did that. I took a bunch of recommendations about hardware. You can see, and I list my hardware in my description block about the microphone, because at the beginning I used the GoPro mic, and the GoPro mic is horrible. The internal microphones inside there, it picks up all the noise and wind, and it's just absolutely horrible. So I took the recommendations and I did research and I invested time, and it's gotten better and better, and there's still a lot of room to grow. And I want to get
for all of us.
and later on I want to get into some of the more professional stuff, like a lot of people do with the fly-in stuff and the little things that spin around inside there, and it'll get there.
I've been working on DaVinci, which is DaVinci Fusion, which is that's the special effects part of.
I remember you telling me that,
and that's. Oh man, that's a journey. I'm telling you, it's like talk about a rabbit hole. Holy crap! You get down into that thing, and then it's like you go out for help.
But, there's so much. There's so much capability on applications like that, like DaVinci. Also,
DaVinci's insane. There's way more than I'll ever use, but it's there if I need it. If I want to find it, figure it out, and spend the time, it'll do it. It'll do anything Hollywood can do. I can do.
And I can
figure it out.
I invested in the Final Cut Pro here, for the Mac, but it is just so.
The learning curve is brutal, isn't it?
Curve.
Oh man, I know. And then you'll use it like I've figured out some stuff this past week that I really wanted to do in a project, and I figured out how to do it, and then the project is like I scrubbed the project. I got to start over again. I'm thinking if I don't get back into this in the next week, I'm gonna have to learn it all over again because it's gonna escape. Start over.
Well, I don't do. I'm so busy. And I know that sounds like an excuse, and I'm rationalizing, but I am really so busy with all the projects and all I do. I want to get to a breathing point. I have another big project that's coming on after
the roof.
After this project right here that just got done. Right here, you can see this.
The flashing looks awesome, by the way. It was really cool. They cut it yeah.
So anyway, once I get to the point where I can relax a little bit, I want to start investing time in education and learning some of these programs again, because I played with the Apple products, Final Cut Pro, back in the day, because I needed a solution, because Ness and I do music videos. I don't know if you've ever seen any of our music videos.
But I haven't.
Yeah, I have to send you I'll send you the link. We only have, I don't know, 3, 4, 5.
Do you have my email?
I think so. I think so.
You do.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you again.
Okay. So,
well, Art sent it to all of us. Didn't you send it to James and me and like anybody else? Like earlier, you sent out an email, maybe, sort of, kind of.
Oh yeah, that's the blast email that I sent out. Here's the link to the show.
Yeah, is James in there? James is in there. Then I'm in there. Okay, I'm in there.
So anyway, what I was getting to was fine. I needed a solution for music videos. You know how MTV does everything, and they sync everything up, and
it's awesome.
They do all the different scenes.
Thank you, Sting Art. Sting Art.
So since Ness and I. Okay, I'll wait till there's a silence in here where I can jump back in again.
Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, it just comes up in my head. Mark Knopfler coming in. That
so anyway, Ness and I
with the earring and the makeup. Okay, there's squirrel again. It's Art's fault this time.
We traveled that road before, Chuck.
I know we did, but it's such a good one. It's worth revisiting. Some trails are worth hitting twice.
So anyway, let's get back. All
right, we're back. We're back.
This is a small event here. So
this is my fault, but I'm part of it.
And it had to do with Ness and I being able to synchronize up doing multi-layers, because we also have our own band, not the band with the full band members. Ness and I do duet type of things, and it's only 2 instruments, but you'll hear some of the music that we produce has multiple instruments inside. So we'll do layers. We'll produce each one of these layers. So I needed something so that we could do. I wanted to try my hand at what MTV does, a music video. I wanted to try a music video. So to be able to do that, basically what they do, the technique is they have a track running in the background, and people are just they're airplane
Air guitaring,
guitar,
whatever, lip
air
syncing, all that
lip
stuff.
syncing, and they're doing all
It was
that.
really
So,
bad back in the 80s too when they did
so,
it. They just messed
so
it.
what you do is you take your one audio track that's finalized, that you're whatever you did in the studio, and then you do dozens of video clips. You do a scene. You'll do one whole scene from that one audio track, one full scene that matches up with that for one angle, and you do another one. And you have like you'll play along with your like 12, like a dozen times. You do it about a dozen times.
And you gotta cut them all up so you get the different. You mix up the angles.
Then inside Final Cut Pro, you've got your audio track. That's
And you have
your
all
master.
these video
and
tracks.
You got all these
played
video
over.
tracks, and in the screen, it's like a studio, like a television studio or a movie production studio.
Multi-camera.
And it's all built into this one little screen, and you might have a dozen little square blocks with all your videos inside it.
And you pick the camera that you want, basically.
Yeah, what's so nice and powerful, and I'm sure DaVinci also does it too.
It has multi-cam, yeah. I've never used
the one from the Apple product, Final Cut Pro, it's that you sit there and you play the scene. You got the music.
There's a guitar. Go to the guitar track. The drummer. Yeah, and you get the drummer and then bass player and lead vocalist.
And it works. And it's so clean and it works like, so well.
That sounds super cool.
Yeah. So again, if we do our little project, what we'll do is when you lay your tracks down with your trombone, and you lay your tracks down.
If I'm also, gonna play trombone. No, I've got
at the same time, you need to have your video that was recording that when you did that, whatever one you finalize that doesn't have mistakes, and that's the one you want. Send, and then we'll do that. We'll put each one of us in different areas inside there. The nice thing about one thing I like so much about Final Cut Pro over iMovie, I use the very simple iMovie to do my editing on my channel, is it has to do with the layers that you can put on Final Cut. It's very powerful, just like DaVinci, like a lot of the professional. You can have all these different layers all over the screen, whereas if you use iMovie or maybe Movie Maker, for those who are familiar with
oh my
Windows,
God, Movie Maker, that's old. Yeah, that was
but it's still used. It's still what people are using to do their editing. But really? The thing is, the limitation of iMovie is you can only do like two videos on there, like an overlay, like a picture in a picture, and your main. You can't do multiple picture in a picture. I haven't been able to figure out how to do that. You can do multiple audio. You can do tons of audio. You can get as many audio layers as you want on there, but video, it's limited to how many video layers you can put on there. Plus, iMovie is kind of a resource hog, I will tell you. Even with this here is the new 2020 MacBook Pro 2020 and it's maxed out with the fastest processor you can get and it cannot handle even iMovie. Well, it handles it much better than my MacBook Air, but you can feel when I'm doing editing, and if you touch the top left-hand corner of the or put your hand underneath the bottom,
cooking.
Oh, it's cooking. You can tell it's spending all that processor power inside there, and it's just exhausting the heat out of there.
Yeah, you should see when I'm rendering my DaVinci stuff, I can see the i9. I have all 14 cores. Actually, in the hyperthreads, I see all 28 of them cooking away.
You have an i9?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one they didn't have the i9.
It's not brand new. It's a few years old. It's a 7940X, but it has 14 cores, and then with the hyperthreads it's 28. But it runs hot, man. The thing, it gets cooking, and I'm rendering. Like a meltdown one of these days. It's liquid cooled. I might need to up the liquid cooling because it's working hard. I have it overclocked and everything. It's beating it to death, basically.
I think Art is trying. He's trying to get something in.
Sorry, Art. Speaking of multi-threads and multi-cores, it is about that time. We're past 2.5 hours, and so don't forget, in 2 weeks is the big birthday show right here. ArtCo turns 3 years old.
Wow. Are we going to have a cake?
Yep. So we'll have a big big show that week. So I want to thank you guys for coming to the show. James, better late than never. Chuck, great having you as always.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Hey, and I want to thank you guys and the guys that are in the comments in the chat over here section too. That have actually come and visit. And come and visited my channel because we just went over 40,000 on the subscriber base.
Yeah,
congrats!
About a week ago. Yeah, so we're really excited about that, and we can't. And our channel can't do that without people like you guys out there. So I thank everybody for joining in and participating in the nice comments and everything. That's really awesome. So thank you very, very much.
They're hardcore audience.
They have to be hardcore to come to my channel.
Oh, you got that right. Look, Fly Zone. He said we didn't put him to sleep, but he's lying. Never put him to sleep. Kidding.
All right, let's call this a show. And next time, I'll actually have audio going from the beginning.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I got in early, by the way. I was hoping we'd do a little audio check for me because remember I've had my fair share of audio issues.
Yeah, it's usually you, Chuck.
So I got in, but I got in and Art was like nowhere to be found, and then I'm like, oh, I guess it's okay, and then it wasn't. It wasn't.
Proper planning.
All right. So
fail to plan to fail. That's what Droning On says.
There you go.
Okay, thanks, guys. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming, and we'll catch you next time. Keep them flying.
Peace out.
Bye-bye. Yeah.